Backs are against the wall for the Seattle Mariners as they had dropped yesterday's game in game 1 of the series, of the best of 5 series against the Detroit Tigers. They had a 1-0 lead, and then foolishly, the Mariners allowed George Kirby to pitch against Kerry Carpenter, and then Kerry Carpenter just absolutely bombed that home run. Although the Mariners tied the game, they still ended up losing and going to extra innings, especially with a, oh my goodness, like bad bullpen performance by Carlos Vargas, which is why he cannot be on the team. But anyways, good evening, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports. Here I am to cover my, if you believe it or not, this is actually my first ever Mariners playoff game that I have ever covered. So I can finally say that Rooftop Sports has finally made history on covering a Mariners playoff game on this YouTube channel. And I must say congratulations to myself. And the last time I ever made any kind of a video about Mariners playoff baseball, especially in the current times, it was 2022, and with the exception of yesterday. So, but today the Mariners have their backs against the wall. They'll be going, not only are they down 1-0 in this series, they're going up against Tariq Skubal, going up against Luis Castillo, which I think is going to be a huge cause for concern because they are already down 1-0 in the series. And if they go down 2-0, which does seem very likely, they will be going to Detroit down 2-0, and the Mariners also never really win in Detroit either. So it's going to be a very tough matchup. I am absolutely horrified to see Detroit. I just naturally am. And to make matters worse, the Mariners lineup gives every bit of case why I just cannot have any faith in the Mariners today. For the starting lineups, we got Randy Arozarena at the left field. Then we got Cal Raleigh at number 2, Julio number 3, Jorge Polanco number 4, Eugenio Suarez 5, Josh Naylor 1, and Mitch Garver as a designated hitter, which I am so confused. Why are they letting Mitch Garver play when he is batting 209? He was batting 209 in the regular season. Then you got Victor Robles and JP Crawford. Like, this is really a losing situation. And by having a left-handed dominant starting pitcher pitching, now you're punishing yourselves by putting out the worst possible starting lineups. Like, here is my proposal. Why don't you put Victor Robles at the leadoff spot, put Randy Arozarena somewhere in cleanup or number 5, and Cal Raleigh somewhere else, because it's just not working. Now, granted, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez, they played their games well, but the other offenses did not hit anything at all. And if they cannot hit anything off of a bullpen, off of literally a Tigers bullpen, there is no way they are going to. It's going to be very difficult to even have a chance to win against Tariq Skubal. Like, if you cannot hit off of a bullpen day, how are you going to get any kind of a hit against Tariq Skubal, the best pitcher in Major League Baseball? And let me just look at his. Let's look at how he's been doing this entire season in the regular season. Like, not only did he carry the Detroit team, he also carried my fantasy baseball team. He was 13-6 with a 2.21 ERA. And let's see what they're saying. Got Dontrell Willis saying the Mariners are going to win, which he's out of his freaking mind. And now what does Derek Jeter say? Yep, Derek Jeter couldn't have been any more correct. Nope, that's nothing biased about that call. These people are out of their minds. Do these people even watch the Mariners? And don't give me that rhetoric about that Tariq Skubal is 0-2 against the Mariners. That is regular freaking season. David Ortiz says Mariners are going to win, or Mariners are going to lose, which he couldn't have been any more correct. Let's hear from the guys who are getting ready to call the game. As we send you out to the ballpark, Adam Amin. Yeah, what are they going to say? And look at that crowd by the Seattle Mariners fan base. It's a huge. They are just loud as it gets. Yeah, what is going on? They're just not even saying anything. This is terrible presentation by Fox. Adam Amin, Adam Wainwright, and AJ Pierzynski, the former All-Star. Yep, game 1 was very important, and the Mariners threw every bit of it away. And to say that they threw it away is an absolute understatement. And they're getting ready, and this game is about to start in about less than 10 minutes. Yeah, Tariq Skubal, it's going to be really tough to go up against him. He's a lefty, and not only is he going to cause problems on the Mariners, he's already made Dan Wilson make an even more terrible lineup, like a sell your short kind of lineup. 2.21 ERA, 241 strikeouts, second in the American League. He was a 2024 Cy Young winner. Yeah, he is projected to be a back-to-back Cy Young winner for sure. Yeah, sure. They beat Tarek Skubal twice in the regular season, but that doesn't mean anything. They just happened to catch him at a really good time and just got really lucky. So no, my pick is for the Mariners or for the Tigers to completely just shut them down. Like, I'm looking at a possible no-hitter on this one, maybe a 2-hitter at best, because again, if you can't get hits off of the Detroit bullpen, how are you going to get hits up against Tariq Skubal? You're not going to. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez, that was the only positive thing about yesterday. They went 6 of 10, but the rest of the team went 0 for 28. And you put freaking Mitch Garver? 3 career postseason games. Luis Castillo has a 1.83 ERA. I don't know, Packer fans. Well, I just don't know. I just don't see it. I want to believe, but I also don't want to be delusional. They're going to have to even it up, but going up against Detroit in Detroit's going to be tough. So if you can't win this game, this pretty much is the series. And now we're going to go into commercial break. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing.
Now commercial break is ongoing, and I do believe after commercial break, this is going to be it, and it's going to be the Mariners game, and we will see how this goes. But man, I really do hate that lineup that they do have. Like, Randy Arozarena really shouldn't be a leadoff hitter. Like, this team, the way the lineup is built, or the way the lineup is, it's like you almost would think that they're just living and dying by home runs. But I think that Victor Robles should be the number one guy, because the statistics really back it up analytically. Putting Randy Arozarena as a leadoff hitter, it just doesn't work. Like, he's just not good at it. And then if you would like me to prove it to you and show you the statistics, because fact checking is a thing, I will gladly show it to you. I'm getting it up right now, and while I'm looking it up, it's pretty embarrassing to watch the New York Yankees go down 2-0, but at the same time, the Mariners could be on the verge of that as well. I really didn't think the Blue Jays were just going to be this good throughout the entire season. And maybe the Blue Jays could actually be the team to beat for the American League. And now looking at batting first, Randy Arozarena is a 218 batter. He has struck out 66 times. He's better off being a cleanup hitter, or even statistically speaking, in 5 games as a 3 hitter. He spat 368 with a 350 on base percentage. So again, I am really confused why the Mariners are putting Randy Arozarena as a leadoff spot for a playoff that just doesn't work. Yeah, they need to play more small ball. I don't know if they're going to score anything, to be honest with you. And now we are back from the break. Temperature is 62 degrees. It's a beautiful, gorgeous evening here in Seattle. Detroit Tigers versus the Seattle Mariners. And Mariners have a really big do or die kind of game. Tom Verducci is what they're showing. But now the Mariners have taken the field. And this first pitch will be brought to you by SeatGeek. If you're planning to go to Detroit, or if you're going to plan to go to any playoff game, use my promo code Rooftop Sports to get your $20 off. Or if you're going to plan to go to anywhere else, use that promo code as well. But Mariners have a really big task up against them. And if they don't win, you can pretty much kiss this series goodbye. Like, this is really a do or die series for the Mariners. And they really have to, do not kill the messenger, but they really have to win this game. But fortunately against the Tigers, Julio has done very well. Now here's the starting lineup for the Detroit Tigers. It's going to be Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, the George Kirby killer, Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Colt Keith, Dylan Dinger, Zach McKinstry, Javier Baez, and Parker Meadows, the man who robbed the home run away from Cal Raleigh. And now here is the La Piedra. Luis Castillo had a typical Luis Castillo season. 3.54 ERA, 162 strikeouts, 46 walks. He had a pretty fine season, considering that he was actually on the trading block before the start of the 2025 season. And just imagine if the Mariners had pulled that trade to get Tristan Casas and Masataka Yoshida, and it probably wouldn't have worked out. He's a fastball guy, sinker, slider, and a changeup. And he is going to have to step up big and have a really big game against the Mariners, because with Tarek Skubal as the pitcher from the bullpen, you're not going to get really much any runs out of him. Gleyber Torres, and now here is the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. And we are underway here at T-Mobile Park. It is definitely a gorgeous night in Seattle. If you're in Seattle, don't put it to waste. Now the pitch and check swing. Yep, he did go. And that's going to be a 1-1 count on Gleyber Torres, the all-star for the Tigers this season. The Tigers who signed him as a free agent this season. Now the pitch, swing and a miss. And that is strike 2. And now we are at 1-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball. Right now I'm posting my Seahawks post-game video, which I was able to do at the end of the game, as now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball. As we're at 2-2. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball again. It looked like it was going to be a swing and miss, but he was able to hit it off. Gleyber Torres got out way in front. And now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball again. And he is just continuing to fight this off. It's going to keep frustrating Luis Castillo, as now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Not even a fastball. And that's going to be one away. First strikeout of the game for the Mariners. They're saying keys to the game. AJ says Castillo match Scooball early. Mariners need to get extra base hits and home runs. I think just extra base hits will do it. Now the pitch to Kerry Carpenter, and that is outside for a ball. And I want to see Kerry Carpenter does against Luis Castillo. As now we're at 1-0, and now here is the pitch, and that's going to be right in there for a strike. He was batting, he's a 256 with 26 home runs and 2 RBIs. Looking for Luis Castillo's numbers, he's a 200 hitter. And he looks like he has yet to hit a home run off of him, too. Excuse me, he has the pitch, and that's going to be a foul back. And that's going to be strike 2. Definitely got to get this guy out. Yeah, people paying $150 just to park, pretty insane. And now we're at 1-2. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. It's going to be his 8th. Well, what am I even talking about? And now with the 1-2 pitch. Low, that's going to be way inside for a ball. What are you even doing? Hey, Barry, how you doing? And also, since you've all gotten in here, hit that subscribe, hit notification, the 2-2. Low for a ball again, and that's going to be 3-2. I mean, Castillo, it does feel like a slow inning too, but you got to get this guy out. You can't give any kind of opportunity. You just can't. And now the 3-2. And that is inside for ball 4. Take your base. That's going to be man on first base. And already Detroit is already threatening. The defensive alignment I don't really care about. It's just the only thing I care about is why is Randy Arozarena leading off? And why is Mitch Garver even in this game? He shouldn't be on the roster. And now here is the pitch. Way inside for a ball. What are you doing, Castillo? Like, take some command on your pitches. Oh, my gosh. 258 Riley Green, his batting average. 30 home runs and 111 RBIs. And now pitch. Way outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-0. And already within just a few minutes of this game, I really can't take this. And now we're at 2-0 for Riley Green. Castillo's already at 17 pitches. Mariners don't really have a lot of options in the bullpen. And now here's fly ball, and that is foul. And just the way that Tigers are playing a little bit aggressive, you would think that it's only a matter of time until they score, especially with Tarek Scooball being your pitcher. And now we're at 2-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 2. Good to get him jammed up, but would love to end this inning on a double. I don't want this inning to go any longer. And the Tigers, they are really just that annoying team on the Mariners. No matter how bad the Mariners are, Tigers still seem to figure them out. And now the 2-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep. No, not so deep. Now here's Randy Arozarena makes the catch. And that's 2 outs. Just to think that getting any out on Detroit is like the most exciting thing ever. That's how I feel about it. It's going to be Spencer Torkelson up to the plate, another formidable player for the Detroit Tigers. He is batting .240 with 31 home runs and 78 RBIs. And now here is the pitch. Way outside. Oh, that's going to be ball 1. They were 4-2 against Detroit last season. In 2024, they were 1-5 against Detroit. And then 23, now here's the pitch, and that is going to be a strike. Against Detroit, they were 3-23. And then 2022, in rookie year, they were actually 6-1. And now we're at 1-1. Is the pitch, and that is going to be outside for a ball. And Castillo is already struggling on his. And now we are at 2-1 in the season, batting .240. We're at 2-1. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 2. And the Mariner fans, they better, and I mean they better, like really get screaming on this. As now we're at 2-2 with 2 outs. The towels are being waved. Fans are up on their feet. And now we are at 2-2. And now here is the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left. But luckily, Rosarena is there. And he makes the catch. That looks really good from that angle for a home run. But the Mariners get out of that inning, especially with a slight scare with a walk-on to first base. And now we're going to go into commercial.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki tiki. Tiki tiki with pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're gonna spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready. Put it on the oven. Let it run.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May. We are definitely back from the, well, not even close to being back from the break, excuse me. Let's look at the other scoreboards that happened in Major League Baseball. So, not much really happened for Sunday. It was really the Yankees and the Mariners playing today. Dodgers have now a 1-0 lead. And on Monday, it's going to be National League Day, where it's going to be the Dodgers and the Phillies. And Dodgers do lead that series. Going up, and then Cubs and the Brewers. And that's going to be the battle of, I think, Craig Counsell. I think he's the manager of the Chicago Cubs, going up against his former team. Yep, Craig Counsell is their manager. Craig Counsell was the manager last season for the Cubs, well, 83 and 79, and he was a longtime manager from 2015 all the way to 2023. And now we are back from the break. I'm still confused why Mitch Garver is pitching today. I'm just really, really confused. I'd rather take my chances with Dom Canzone. Now, the chant of Randy is going on, but man, this game could end really quickly in a very ugly way, especially with Tarek Skubal with mostly a changeup, the fastball, sinker, slider, and a little bit of the curveball, only 3% of it. And now here is the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. It's going to be ball 1. And now we have the next pitch, and now here is the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Dom Canzone against lefties. He's batting .276. And now here is the pitch. And now here's going to be a ground ball. And that's going to get right through for a base hit. And now Randy Rosarena gets on base with a base hit. And Cal Raleigh up to the plate, and now it's a really good opportunity for Cal Raleigh to really make something happen. But yeah, even analytically, putting in Garver absolutely makes no sense. And now here's Cal Raleigh, the MVP, the MVP candidate for the 2025 season. But he's got to show that he can do it in the playoffs. He batted .247 with 60 home runs and 125 RBIs. He was absolutely one of the terrors of Major League Baseball. And now here is the pitch. Low for a ball is going to be 1-0 or 1-1. And I would say Randy Arozarena should steal, but it's tough to steal on a lefty, especially if scoop ball can look directly right in your face. And now we're at 1-1. As we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a big swing and a miss, and that is going to be 1-2. And I'm looking at the matchups. Mitch Garver is a .233 hitter against lefties. As we're at 1-2 for Cal Raleigh. And now here is the pitch. Up high for a ball. And why was he even bothering and thinking about swinging at that? And that's going to be 2-2. In 22, Cal Raleigh with 27, 23, 30, 434, and 25, 60. We're at 2-2. There is the pitch. And that is low for a ball. 3-2 for Cal Raleigh. And your heart really just cannot take it anymore, can it? Because it can't for me. As we're at 3-2. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. You didn't even have to swing at that one. It was not even a good swing to begin with. What are you doing, Cal Raleigh? And that's going to be 1 out. And now it's going to be Julio Rodriguez up to the plate, who hit the home run last night, but I don't think it's really going to happen today against Tarek Skubal because he is the best pitcher in all of baseball. Now here's Julio, now the pitch, and that's going to be right in there for a strike. Julio offensively carried this team too, as now we're at 0-1. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a foul back, strike two, and he's already on the verge of striking out. Like, this game already horrifies me. I don't know if Julio can do it, as now we're at 0-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be a foul back, and that was barely hitting on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Tarek Skubal's really got excellent stuff. That was, he had to swing at that one, and he got him. He was trying to get him on the inside. And now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're 2. And now here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. That seemed to be a little bit of a pitch out just to make sure that Randy Arozarena is not stealing. Julio batted .267. His batting average seems to go down every single season. And now we're at 1-2 for Julio Rodriguez. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. again, and they're really trying to get to Skubal. He's already on 15 pitches in this inning, and I think if you could get him, if you can at least get him to the point where you have to bring in the Detroit, I think that's just a win in itself. And now we're at 1-2 for Julio Rodriguez. And now here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and the throw to second. That is safe, not in time, but Julio strikes out. But Randy Arozarena is now at second base. Now I'm wondering why he didn't do it in the first place. Now call. Arozarena is at scoring position, but it's going to be just Jorge Polanco. But this is where his specialty is, where he can he does well. He does well with runners and 2 outs. That does seem to be his thing. Now here's Jorge Polanco. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up into not even leaving the inside, the infield. And he makes the tire the side. And once again, the offense with inability to even really do a thing. And it's still scoreless. It may be only a matter of time that Detroit scores. Still, commercial break is ongoing. I mean, Castillo right now has 25 pitches and Skubal only 17. So, I mean, I'm getting really nervous already. And I want to look at Tarek Skubal's numbers in the regular season. Oh, no, Tarek Skubal's numbers in the playoffs, actually. Last year, he was 18-4. I mean, last season, he was arguably even better. But yeah, looking at in the postseason, he was 1-1 with a 2.37 ERA, with 5 earned runs at some points. In 2024, last season, they swept the Houston Astros, and they lost the division series to the Cleveland Guardians. So this time, they got the revenge. AJ Hinch is the manager, and he is indeed one of the best managers in all of baseball. He's been a manager since 2021 after having a year off in 2020 after the whole scandal of not Deflategate, the garbage bag scandal. And now we are back from the break. AJ Hinch is on the verge of getting his 1,000th win. Now the pitch, and that's going to be up high for a ball. If he does win today, it's going to be his 1,000th. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball, 1-1. This is Keith up to the plate. Now we're at 1-1, and now the pitch, swing and a miss, and that is strike 2. Fans are already cheering, already having some noises because they really want to put that pressure on Detroit, but Detroit doesn't seem to be phased. And now the 1-2 pitch, low for a ball. AJ Hinch versus Dan Wilson, and we already who is their manager. Why didn't the Mariners hire this guy? Now the pitch, low for a ball, 3-2, and you really cannot allow a man to get on base. If you do, you're just asking for trouble. And now we're at 3-2, and now here is the pitch, way outside for a ball 4, and it really just does seem to be a matter of time until Detroit scores. Because when the Mariners have a man on base, it's like Detroit's like, yeah, whatever. Nothing's going to happen anyway. And now we've got next man up to the plate. Now here's Dingler. Now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. Now we're at 0-1 the pitch. And that's going to be popped up to left center field. And Polanco makes the catch. And even if he dropped it, it would have just went to second base anyway. Now we're at 1 out so far. And now here's the pitch. That is Zach McKinstry up to the plate. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 0-1. And now here's the pitch. Way up high for a ball. And again, Castillo is doing absolutely terrible with his hand. Only 20 strikes, and the other 15 are balls. He is very inconsistent with his strike zone. And now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch, way outside for a ball. And that is going to be 2-1. And I'm just saying that I really do think this could be the inning the Tigers score. As now we're at 2-1 for Zach McKinstry. And that's going to be a 2. Literally the only reason why Castillo is able to get any kind of strikes is only because he's getting foul balls. Yells, I know everyone's saying all the negative stuff. I don't blame you, and I don't judge you at all. I mean, none of you are even wrong at all. Now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be a ball that was clearly outside the strike zone. Good God. Hopefully the M's can get scoop ball pitch count up. I don't know if they're going to be able to, as now we're at 3-2 for Zach McKinstry. And you got to get a strike on this. And now the pitch, then the runner goes, and that's a ball 4. It doesn't matter. And now we got runners on first and second with just 1 out. And now the next batter is going to be Javier Baez. And there's a man in scoring position, and it only just seems like only a matter of time until Detroit scores. Detroit was 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position, but knowing that they have Tariq Skubal on their backs, I don't even think they're worried about whatever they did yesterday. I mean, they scored the runs when it mattered most. 12 home runs for Javier Baez. And now here is the pitch. And that is definitely going to be a strike. Yeah, he tried it, but clearly it did not work for him. And thank goodness it didn't, because it really would have been a mess if it did. And now here's the 0-1. And that's going to be a foul strike too. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, Seattle does everything. The Huskies won, but they beat a team they really should have just beat up anyway. They barely beat an unranked team. Says a lot about them. Now the 0-2 pitch. What are you doing, Castillo? Why are you pitching outside? He's not stupid. They're not going to swing like that. And now we're at 1-2. With runners in scoring position, Javier Baez is a 2-2 hitter. And now we're at 1-2. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball. Why are you even that direction to begin with? Now I want to look at how many strikeouts these teams have. And now here is the 2-2 pitch. And there's going to be a ground ball, but all you're going to get is going to first base. And that's going to be out, and he'll take every out that he can. But now there's runners on second and third out, and it's going to be Parker Meadows. And if you remember Parker Meadows, he was known for robbing a home run away from Cal Raleigh in the 2024 season. He's only a 215 hitter, but Mariners are capable of giving up anything, which is why Cal Raleigh is going to have a chat with Luis Castillo. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RooftopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. 44 pitches for Castillo already. I mean, this is why I was telling Dan Wilson to not blow up your entire bullpen. And now here's the pitch to Parker Meadows, and that's going to be a foul ball. Parker Meadows, the man who robbed Cal Raleigh's home run, and his career in the postseason, he is 4 for 16. Didn't really have much of a season due to injuries. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. He's only been playing maybe half the games at best. He had 12 doubles last season. And now we're at 0-2. We really got to get this guy out. And now here's the pitch. Way up high for a ball. Castillo again with just atrocious command. I have no idea how he's pitching this badly. It just, almost 50 pitches. It just seems that it's only a matter of time until Detroit scores. Now here's the pitch. And check swing, did he go? He did not. And the fans are very upset about it. And I can't blame you at all. And right now we got Steve-O on the show. He's going to vent with me as we watch a possible disastrous game. What's up?
Mariner
now we're at 2-2.
Baseball. Hey now.
And the pitch.
Completely
and
the bows.
And that's going to be foul ball. And that's going to be 2-2. And congratulations, Steve. You are part of history in Rooftop Sports. This is my first ever Mariners playoff game I'm covering live. So congratulations. Now we're at 2-2. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And Detroit is really just grinding on Castillo. So many foul balls.
I got you.
Now, where's your screen? All I see is stateside footy. As now we're at 2-2 onto Parker Meadows. And he's taking his... I feel like that the pitch clock... You would think that the pitch clock is expiring by now. As now we're at 2-2.
Yeah. There we go.
And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's going to retire the side. Luis Castillo gets himself out of a huge jam. And it still remains to be 0-0.
Yeah. So let's see if I can tune into this one.
And remember, do your best not to spoil it.
Oh,
even if it's like a very exciting home run.
You know I'm going to do my best to spoil it. You know, the crazy thing is I got a few things to do tonight, but it looks like I'm well behind you here.
Well, then there's advantage me.
So, playoff baseball here. Mariners drop game 1. And now with runners on second and third with 2 outs. Looks like it's the 2-2 pitch of the way. So, yeah, the Mariners literally can ill afford to drop game 2 here.
They couldn't even afford game 1 because today Tarek Skubal's pitching. But to make it worse, the Mariners seem the lineup that the Mariners have, it almost seems like they're playing surrender because they're playing Mitch Garver and they're rationale up against a lefty. But then when I looked at Canzone's numbers against lefties, he's a 276 hitter and Garver is only a 230. So even analytically, it is still a terrible move. Like whoever's in this analytics department needs to be fired.
I get it, but here's the thing, right? You got to play the matchups. You just got to play the matchups. It's all about the matchups, bud.
Yeah. Here's what I would ask.
I hate the matchups. Yeah, I hate the matchups, right? Like that's the thing. You know, at least with Lou Piniella, he was going to play the guys that got him there. You know what I mean? He's going to play the guys that that he knows for a fact he can trust in these situations, and generally speaking, they come through. But we live in the modern age of Major League Baseball where it's like, if there's a lefty on the mound, then we got to overload the lineup with righties. And generally speaking, that's true, unless your righty can't hit a lefty. And what you're saying to me is Mitch Garver can't hit left-handed pitching.
The only time I ever saw matchups actually work was when in the 1997 American League between the Baltimore Orioles and the Seattle Mariners, Davey Johnson elected not to play Rafael Palmeiro because he was a lefty. And it did in some ways, it definitely pay off, but don't forget Baltimore was also already a loaded team anyway. So that was where he could such a thing, but they had depth because they had Brady Anderson, Roberto Alomar. They had and Cal Ripken.
Well,
now here's Suarez up to the plate and foul ball.
The interesting thing though is that this is actually the year. Like, if the Mariners want to get to a World Series, this is the year to do it, because they got such a gift of a draw by getting the shitty AL Central, right? Where it almost feels like this is like a free pass to the LCS, and if Boston does their job, then I feel like we can beat
Boston's already out. They got defeated by the Yankees. Okay. The Yankees are down 2-0. Now the pitch. Now here's going to be a fly ball to center field, and Parker Meadows is going to be there and makes the.
All right, fair. So if Toronto does their job, then I feel like we can still beat Toronto in a 7-game series.
Well, if the Mariners can actually fill their seats at T-Mobile Park, because they don't really do a good job with that, because they keep allowing the Blue Jays to stuff them up.
So let me get this straight, right? So this is our first division title, and congratulations to the Mariners on finally actually making
now the pitch to Naylor.
Getting their
Here's going to be a ground ball right to Torkelson and going to first, and that's going to be in time. 2 outs already.
They did a good job, man. They didn't crumple in September, and they won their first division title in 25 years. Congratulations. And now you're back into the playoffs for the first time in 3 years. And this is what we get.
Pretty much.
I hope we do. Oh
my God. Mitch Garver is up. And I'm not looking forward to this. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. He literally just watched a strike almost right down the middle. And that was usually where his hot zone is. And he still doesn't even take a stab at it. And now here's the 0-1 to Garver. And that's a strike again. And he's literally just meditating out there. And I'm going to say this. Pull him out right now. Just pull him out right now. Yeah, he's just meditating. Because we're at 0-2.
So he's not afraid to play a lefty on lefty with Josh Naylor, but he's not going to go lefty and lefty with Canzone.
The 0-2 pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. Like, I still don't analytically speaking, this makes absolutely no sense to put in Mitch Garver. I mean, he shouldn't even be on the roster.
Right,
take my chances with Harry Ford, and now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Am I surprised? Nope.
No. And by the way, Fritz, that's so funny. We both know how this team. We both know this team so well. We know how this all ends. Yeah, we do.
And there's Seattle fans that are saying that we are so negative. It's just one game. Just be positive. Then no, wrong.
So what if? By the way, what if we go down 0-2 and then we win three straight, a la 1995?
Yeah.
What happens then? What happens then?
I will say, congratulations. Sure, you can have your gloating, but at the same time, if they were to pull that off, it had to come out of pure luck, and Detroit just completely choking it.
What's
and by the way, the last time, what?
Game 3 and Game 4 obviously is going to be like on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I could have gotten tickets for like $168, but my brother-in-law, who I was going to take, has to be in New York, and so I elected not to buy the tickets because I didn't want to go down to Detroit by myself. I was kind of hoping that we would hit Detroit 1-1 at the very least, but it's looking like it's going to be 0-2.
That's what I'm sensing too. That's what I'm fearing. And the crazy thing is, I actually have got my schedule cleared up for games 3 and 4. So I'm looking, or more like I am dreading them, or do even get the question.
Hey, Fritz, by the way, that's a bad.
Do it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The Nuggets can do it against the Sonics. This is a bad take, though, because the Cleveland Browns literally moved to the Baltimore Ravens. They literally started from nothing. And
so the funny thing about it makes sense.
But I mean, they actually did get a new owner in the interim. But still, though, it's like, it's kind of
Art Modell was the same owner up until like 2004.
Right, but by the way, though, they took off to Baltimore, though.
They did bolt to Baltimore.
The Cleveland Browns started from scratch, and they were absolute dog shit until the Lerners took over. But they had that one playoff appearance a couple of years ago.
The crazy thing is, before commercial break ends, when they had Butch Davis, they actually had depth. They actually had Bruce Arians as their offensive coordinator. Who would have believed that? So they actually had something going, and then they not only gave up on Tim Couch, they decided to get back to Jeff Garcia, which, by the way, not on a so good team either. They should have just, I don't know, but we're getting off course. Now back from the break. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a strike, and that is Gleyber Torres, the all-star.
Seahawks lost today, huh?
They did today, and now here's the 0-1, and that's going to be a foul ball. Yeah, Seahawks lost in, which I also did that game, but the Seahawks defense was absolutely atrocious. They were playing a little bit shorthanded, but it was still really bad to watch. And now the 0-2.
Baker Mayfield.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. I'm happy for him.
Crazy.
As a pretend Browns fan, as a bandwagon Browns fan in the AFC,
sure,
I'm happy. I'm happy for him because I wanted him to stay in Cleveland, but they gave up on him for basically no reason.
Well, it was funny because he leads them to the playoffs.
Now the pitch,
and then
swing and a miss, strike 1.
He gets hurt the next year, and they make him play hurt. And of course, he has a bad year, and then they blame him and ship him out of town. It's like
when they had Case Keenum as their backup.
Yeah, like how stable were the Browns under Baker Mayfield? It's like you elect to get rid of the stability for what? For what? Was it worth it?
For someone that actually wanted to be there, he loved playing for the Browns.
Yeah,
he loved the culture. But then and now we're at 0-2 for Kerry Carpenter.
Oh yeah,
and now here's a liner to. Oh, that's a ground ball, nicely fielded by Polana. Going to be 2 outs already, so a much more efficient inning so far for Luis Castillo. And I had to knock on that wood.
So Fritz says, like about the third inning last night, real fans were right back in game 2 of 2022, and you could feel what was coming. Everyone's worst fears. Yeah, I can understand that.
What I have noticed is the fans that are telling me to like, you're a true fan. I noticed that they didn't really become Mariners fans until Cal the home run. And I know exactly at least one Mariner fan that openly admitted it. And they're telling people like us, that was like a fan since the 80s. I'm a fan since 2000. Like, we already know this game very well. And there's people that barely got into baseball and they're telling us how to fan, now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up going into center field. Julio is going to be there.
I've seen every playoff game.
And that's going to retire side.
I've seen every playoff game in this franchise's history. And yeah, the other thing though is like this is let's be honest, right? This team doesn't make the playoffs every single year, right? So it doesn't have playoff experience. It doesn't know exactly what it takes to win in the playoffs, and that's actually kind of a big thing, right? When you think about the last time this team was in the playoffs was 3 years ago, and it was essentially rookie years for Cal Raleigh and Julio, and these guys just don't know how to win big games in the playoffs yet, right? So in order to get there, in order to get that confidence, they actually have to be there all the time. And this is not something this franchise does.
Yeah, and going back to Sean Lee's comments, he's saying that he's extra frustrated, but can I blame you? I mean, it's been a pretty bad week so I don't blame you. Like, I know there's fans out there that are like, oh, you're so negative. You got to, you probably just were a fan since 22. So you don't know how long us Seattle fans have been through watching a lot of mediocrity, especially on the Mariners. And we hadn't been in the playoffs since.
I became a fan in 87, and I remember the 90s very vividly. And I can tell you that the difference between 2025 and 1995 is the fact that that team got hot and rode it to Game 6 of the ALCS, right? So that team didn't have playoff experience either, but what they had was Ken Griffey Jr. in the middle of their lineup, right? So one swing in the bat changed the momentum of the entire game, right? So it's
and you had Randy Johnson.
Yeah, you had Randy Johnson as well too. So if you needed somebody to step up to win a big game, you actually had that. 2025 has Cal Raleigh, but can this team just rely on Cal Raleigh?
You can't. And the other problem too is
this lineup. Yeah, this lineup has to rely on everyone for this thing to click, right? So that's the playoffs, right? Pitching dominates in the playoffs.
Well, the other problem is the Mariners, because we know that they're a live and die by the home run.
Correct.
You rely on the home run. And the way that the lineup is structured, they're trying to bank on just it doesn't work. Like in playoffs, because they're going up against pitchers like Tarek Skubal and at least competent. And look at what happened. They lost to the Tigers on their bullpen day. They lost on bullpen pitchers.
Where's by the way, where's Victor Robles?
He's near the bottom of the lineup, and I think he should be a leadoff hitter. Like a Rosarena in the leadoff spot in the playoff, I think is not a good strategy. And the numbers also back it up.
I'm just trying to figure out why. Is home dude the DH then? Is Mitch Garver the DH?
He's the DH, but I think it still should be Canzone. Yeah. And now here is the pitch to Robles. And also last night they wasted much of their bullpen pitchers. Like they had Bizzardo get out of an inning in just 3 pitches, and then they just yank him for the next inning because of matchups. And now the 1-1 inside, and that nearly hit him, and that's going to be 2-1 for Victor Robles. And Victor Robles has had a very difficult season where he suffered that injury against San Francisco, and then he got suspended for another like 5 or 10 games for throwing a bat in a minor league baseball game because he got hit. And now here is the 2-1. Low for a ball, 3-1. Tarek Skubal's on 29 pitches. I mean, last night seemed just the nerves and situations that's a little too big. Yeah, 0 for 28 was pretty pathetic, especially on bullpen pitchers. And now the 3-1 pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. That was almost right down the middle. He had to swing at that one. And now it's going to be a full count 3-2 for Victor Robles.
Victor! Let's get on base, Victor. We need base runners here.
Yeah, they definitely need base runners. And now the 3-2 pitch. And ball 4, take your base. I thought the umpire was going to call the strike 3. And now that's going to be a man on first base. And yesterday, the other error that the Mariners made was they allowed George Kirby to pitch against Kerry Carpenter, who was a 4-for-8 hitter with like 3 or 4 home runs against him. Should have at least intentionally walked him. But no, they didn't. But the blame went to the umpire. Strike. But they looked at ABSs and everything. It was still a ball.
Mm-hmm.
So even ABS wouldn't have saved them. But everyone on Twitter was like, the umpire missed the call. Said that it was a ball. And now we're at 0-1 for Crawford. Now the pitch can be a ground ball foul, and that's going to be 0-2. Maybe they can catch up to the baseball, the fastball second time through the order. Hope is not lost yet. Maybe. But it's a lot to bank on.
This team does score runs late, so
they do wait until it's too late. And now we're at 0-2 for JP Crawford, who was batting .365 of the season. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball again. And they are really trying to get to Scooball. He's at 34 pitches, so he's still pitching very efficiently. Much more efficient than the La Piedra, Luis Castillo.
La Piedra.
There was a little scare moment in that Detroit Tigers bullpen, or the dugout. The pitch going to be popped up and foul, and it looks like Victor Robles was trying to steal. And I can understand why the Mariners aren't stealing bases, because stealing on a lefty is actually pretty hard to do because the lefty is literally looking at you.
Right. It also could have been like a hit and run.
As we're now at 0-2.
Oh God, why didn't JP just put one down?
Now the 0-2. I know, I agree with you, because now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, exactly. And now we got Randy Arozarena up to the plate. And then at this point, why not try to steal the base?
What did a foul ball tag somebody in the in the Tiger bullpen or Tiger dugout?
It almost did. JP Crawford swung and missed, and Tarek Scooball, I think that's like his 3rd strikeout of this game. It's 4th strikeout. Now the pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. And now we're at 1-0. Arozarena with 27 home runs in the season. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-0. Mariners have got to find a way to score.
That's funny. At least JP's up.
Oh my gosh. How's it going with the man with a Japanese name? Now we're at 2-0.
Imai.
Now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Why are you swinging at the dirt? Like, this team drives me nuts. They always they have really bad hitting approaches, as now we're at 2-1 for Randy Arozarena. He's 1 for 1. He had a single, but he was stranded. And now the throw to first, and that's going to be not in time. Fans are booing because they just want to get this game going. Yeah, bad Randy indeed, Fritz.
So, do you think Mariner ownership gives a shit about whether
the
we win
pitch
the series or not? Or
no,
do
they
they
don't
just care about the 2 extra games that they got to sell tickets to at double the price?
Yeah, and don't forget the parking revenue too.
Mm-hmm. Tatsuya Imai is the next MLB star from Japan. How about that? Who knew?
Now the 2-2 and a foul ball. That was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Classic Mariners fans booing louder than they are capable of cheering. I mean, I'm willing to boo this team. I mean, if the Mariners don't get out of this playoff series, it will be a failure of a season.
Oh,
and now the 2-2.
Yeah. But you understand how Mariner fans react though, because they won the division, so it was a success. That's going to be the narrative, though.
But they didn't even run that narrative back in 1997. They said that was a failure, so at least everyone agreed on that. But that was kind of like an obvious one.
But you understand exactly how this
fan base works,
right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're going to say it's a success because they won the division. It's like you didn't do shit with the division, though.
And it was especially on a down year of the American League West. Yeah, Astros were pretty much their entire core of players were injured. And then Texas was dealing with injuries, so it was kind of like, well, it was kind of handed. Now the pitch, and now here's a fly ball to left field, and it's gonna go straight to left field. Riley Green's there, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Fritz. I'm not blaming the owners at all. It's like, as a matter of fact, I'm blaming the players, right? Because it's like, you get to a playoffs in a down year, you win the division, and you get to actually get a layup in your division series against the Tigers. The Tigers are okay. They're not great, and they're definitely beatable. And
now here's Cal Raleigh up to the plate.
They lose game
here
one.
Is the pitch. Now here's going to be a liner right caught to Javier Baez, and that's going to retire the side. And we're going to go into the top of the fourth inning, and this game is breezing along. Let me stop you right there, sir. I think this was a great season. First division, a quarter of a century after no offseason moves.
See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Oh, man, I love this guy.
Yeah, let me stop right. It was success. We won the division. Yeah, but guess what? We didn't win a ring, right? The whole point of this, the whole point of professional sports is to what?
Win the whole freaking thing.
That's right. To win rings. That's why you do it. So you can say that you're champions of the world. And this is a team that has yet to make an appearance in the World Series. And this is their only 6th playoff appearance in team history. 6th.
I was able to. The scary thing is, for the longest of time, I could count playoff appearances with one hand. Now I can do 2. 1995, 1997, 2000, 2001, 2022, and 2022 almost doesn't even count.
Yeah, so here's the thing, though, right? So that's my point, Gamer 11. Mariner fan standards are very happy with the division title. That's why they're the softest fan base in all professional sports, because they're happy with that. They're happy. Because we checked another thing off the we hadn't done in forever box, right? And it's like, I don't know about you, but I actually want my teams to win championships, right? That's the whole purpose. That's the whole point. And if they're not even getting to the World Series, what's the point?
Yeah, but it's all about, you have to be positive. You got to believe in your team.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Game 11. Yeah, of course that was a failure. Guess what also was a failure? 2022. Guess what else was a failure? 2001, 2000, 97, 95. Failures all across the board. You know why? Because we didn't even play for a ring. Like, I would have been cool. I'd like you. What's funny is, like, in 2000 or 2001, had we gotten to the World Series and got beaten, I would be perfectly okay with it, because we win the AL pennant. You know what I mean? We got through the AL gauntlet, and we got within a couple games of hoisting. Like, I could have been content with that. But this is just horseshit. If we lose to the Tigers, it's 100% a failure.
It really is. It really would be. But they're going to get a standing ovation if they lose the series at home, like a Game 5. They will get like an earthquaking standing ovation.
Yeah, no. What? By the way, Gamer, World Series championships are everything. Yeah, try saying that shit to Yankees fans that have 27 of them. Yeah, whatever, dude. That's funny. Yeah, it's like soft with a hit of arrogance when they do something. Where they were talking so big after like 2 weeks.
The 0-1
didn't even pay attention during the last series and lost all momentum. Yeah, true.
Like, fans talk so much trash to the Astros, and I didn't even engage with Astro fans. I just said, now they 1-1. Now it's gonna be a ground ball foul. All I really said was, actually, I didn't even talk to them. All I said was, sorry, man. That's it. That's all I got.
By the way, different perspective. Yeah, it's soft perspective. That's what that is.
I love
That's a soft perspective. It's a soft perspective. That's what it is. If you're fine with not winning championships,
now the 1-2. Now here's a fly ball to center field, but Julio was there and he makes a catch. I mean, just remember, this is a safe space for whether it's opinions I agree with or I don't agree with, or even if it's Gamer 11's comments, it is still safe. I ain't blocking squat.
Well, what's funny about it is it's a fan base that refuses to hold the team accountable. Like, if we get to the playoffs, it's like, oh, yay, happy time, happy time. It's like, we don't care if we win a series or not. It's a success. And it's like, we get to hang a banner.
And that's going to be popped up and fouled. They still have not hung a banner since 2001. And that whole thing about 2023, when they're like, oh, but we made a wild card appearance, when they like switched up the banner, I'm like, no. Now we're at 0-1.
Oh, yeah. See, I agree with that too, Fritz, right? If they take it to game 5 and lose at home, actually hitting, I'll have some respect. Yeah, I 100% agree, right? If they get blanked in 3 and they go down without even, if they go down without even a whimper or a heartbeat, yeah, dude, you lose all respect.
It's like everyone gets participation trophies.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. This is what I like to call the soft boy era right now. Everyone gets a ribbon. Because you're a winner. You're a winner, even though
everyone's a winner. Now the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. And that's going to be 1-1 to Keith.
La Piedra.
Now the pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball to right field. And here's Victor Robles. And he makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 away.
Twisting, turning, foul.
Oh, but we won the Vetter Cup against San Diego. Woo!
Winning the Eddie Vetter Cup. Oh, we played San Diego and won a big old trophy.
Now the pitch. Yeah. And that's actually going to be a strike. That was outside the ABS, and even Dingler was like, huh? That was a strike? Now we're at 0-1.
Dude, they look like they're even having fun.
Now the pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball to center field, but Julio Rodriguez is there, and he makes the catch. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Mariners. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Mariners better come up with something.
Yeah, but I will say that I'm going hungry. That's funny. At home, drawing pictures of mountaintops with him on top. Lemon yellow sun.
Oh, man.
Raising the V. The funny thing is, like, it's funny, though. You're right, Fritz, though, because it almost feels like the Mariners got caught in the deer in the headlights. It's like, oh, my God, we won the division. Now we actually have to go play baseball.
Yeah, that's the concern I had out of that Dodgers series. They lost all 3 of those games. Now, granted, both of them were close games, but it would have been nice to win the series on that one so they can still have the momentum going into the bye week. And now the Mariners seem like they forgot to play baseball. Not that I'm going to blame the bye week if the Mariners lose. It's not because of rustiness. It was because of bad baseball play. Like like yesterday when I was watching game 1, the Mariners were trying to just hit bombs where it's like, no, you just try to play small ball, but they didn't play small ball yesterday with the exception of maybe 1 inning.
Well, I will say that right now we're leading the hit battle. We got 1. Yay. By the way, that's the dumbest name right now in baseball belongs to Dylan Dingler of the Tigers. That is the dumbest name I think I've ever heard of a ball player. His name is Dylan Dingler.
Yeah, but there's one thing he has that we don't. He has a baseball career.
Yeah,
He's
that's true.
making, so I can't really, you know what? Maybe he used that as motivation, his really silly name, to prove the haters wrong. And he grinded to get to
Yeah,
where he is.
Gamer 11. Everything was great because Cal Raleigh. Cal, yay, Cal! I made it so worth it. Cal, happy clapping. Cal.
I love Gamer 11. We need to have comments like that. We need people that are like, I need more people like that. I need more people in this chat box to go, shame on you. You need to be more I want more comments. I invite them over to
That's
here.
funny. The Mets got a guy named Richard Lovelady.
I'm trying to think of another one.
That's a great name, Richard Lovelady.
There's Miles Mastroboni.
Yeah, that's actually pretty great too.
Hell yeah. I didn't expect him to become the greatest catcher ever. He's the bestest catcher ever.
Yeah, dude, he's a one-season wonder.
Oh, you think he's a one-season
wonder? By the way, if he goes 40 next year, then at least now he's got like a 3-year stretch of like 40 plus bombs, including a 60 dime, a 60 bag thrown in there. Richard
now
is a
we've
short
got a 1-0, and now here's the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball, and that's going to be 1-1.
R.A. Dickey.
You can watch it. I know what this guy really means. As we're at 1-1, and now here's the pitch. He's just posing. There's no way someone can really believe that. It's just Gamer 11. He's just trying to jack up those comments, and he's go, "What are you talking about? I actually do mean it." And now we're at 2-1.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest ever.
The pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball to right field. And is that going to... That's going to be a foul ball.
Hey, so by the way, right, because Ken Griffey Jr. had like one of the greatest stretches in the mid to late 90s, and nobody gave a shit. Do you know why? No rings. No rings. It didn't amount to shit.
Tarek Skubal went to Seattle University. Didn't... Oh, yeah, he did. He was also a Seattle guy. What's with all these Seattle people not going to the Mariners? And they become like some of the greatest things ever.
Tarek Skubal. That's a dumb name too.
Yeah, but he's good. He was a
at least his name isn't. At least his name isn't Rusty. At least his name isn't Rusty. Rusty Skubal. And
now here is the pitch, way inside for a ball, and that was a 101 mile an hour fastball, and that is going to be 3-2.
Let's go, Julio.
And now we're at 3-2.
Draw walk, baby.
Tarek Skubal was a 9th round pick, and the Mariners could have drafted him, actually. They were a few spots away from him. And now the 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be fly ball popped up, not even leaving the infield. And he makes the catch. The Mariners drafted pitcher Joey Gerber over Tariq Skubal. But here's the thing, like, I'm not gonna slap the Mariners about it because no one could have known that he was gonna be like this. And
the Tigers did. That's why they drafted him, right?
So, yeah, but they also drafted him like with the mindset of like, yeah, we'll see what he can do. And now the pitch.
I love the way that Fritz is taking baby steps here. He's not thinking rings. He's like, I want the series to stop being like paint dry. I just want 3 hits.
It is pretty much. No, not only it's paint dry. Now the pitch.
Baby steps.
No, it's lead paint before 1978 kind of paint dry. If you know what that means. Bad lead paint.
Skeens and Skubals proved
now
to
the
2-0. Starting with the
now here's a fly ball to deep left field. Could that be enough? And that is good. That is a home run for Jorge Polanco. Mariners get on the board. That home run seemed to come out of nowhere. And now it's the Mariners 1 and Detroit nothing. And to get a home run off of Tarek Skubal, I wish I could say cheers, even though I already drank this, but that just woke me up like I drank a cup of coffee. And what a hit by Jorge Polanco, but we got to keep it going. Keep the runs going.
And by the way, Sean Lee, that wasn't a can of corn by Julio. That was just a lazy infield pop. A lazy infield pop fly. A can of corn is like a lazy fly ball to center field. Why haven't we paid Naylor yet? Yanks are going to steal him. Well, yeah. You think we're going to re-sign Naylor?
No.
We're going to go into 2026 without a first baseman or a third baseman again.
All I can say is Mariners have better get more runs because a 1-0 lead is not going to be enough. I love this guy. And now here's the 1-1. And that's going to be outside for a ball. World Series, baby.
Look at that. It just sneaked out.
Oh,
there it is.
Teresa, turn off the game. And now here's the 2-1. And a swing and a miss. See that? That's why we keep losing games like this, because
I love curmudgeon Mariner fans. Well, if I can turn off the game now, we got an obligatory one.
And now we're at 2-2, and now the pitch. And that is strike 3 called. And all I can say is for Eugenio Suarez, bad vibes only.
This, by the way, this is what happens when you've watched this team for 40 years break your heart consistently. You just stop believing after a while. You're like, if they get there, and it'll be happy. But we kind of know how this thing is going to play out.
Maybe that's why Mariner fans are always like that. Why they're always like in that participation trophy mindset, because they're just so burned out that they're willing to settle for basically nothing.
That's funny. See, now if Luis gives up a run, we can blame him. Offense did their job.
Now the pitch, swinging him.
To live and die on the solo home run. It's the place to see what I did there. I went Tupac to live and die in LA, but I put in solo home run.
And now the 1-1 pitch to Josh Naylor, and that's going to be a ground ball foul.
Ground ball.
I mean, we've seen it before where the Mariners did live and die by home runs. It was called the 1997 Mariners, 264 home runs, and then Mike Mussina shut them down pretty much by himself.
Yeah, we've seen this team live and die by the home run. It's called 2022 and 2025.
Now we're at 1-2 for Josh Naylor.
And 97.
And the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. But the Mariners do get a home run out of Jorge Polanco, but we know that this is not going to be nearly enough. And terrifyingly, yesterday, the Mariners hit a solo home run in the bottom of the 4th inning, and then in the top of the 5th, they gave up a 2-run home run. So could that parallel happen again?
Well, we have Luis Castillo on the hill, so I would say yes. That dude gives up bombs. Gives up bombs. Josh Naylor, by the way, is really one ugly dude. He really is.
But he was good for the
professional
Mariners.
baseball player. But he's a professional baseball player.
No, here's the thing. Like, I don't care if these players are ugly. Like, if they're playing their game, then they're playing their game.
Sure, but I would assume to a woman, right? An ugly baseball player goes up from like a 6 to like a 10 because he's a professional baseball player, right? Playing in the major leagues. That's an automatic 10 for any woman, right? Like they could be like the ugliest dude in the world, but you know.
But here's the thing, like I know these certain people would like to go for people that have a lot of money, but don't you would think that the man or the person that's rich, you would think that he'd be like, hey, sign a prenup if you want to deal with me. If you want me, sign this prenup.
Prenup, baby. Prenup.
So
yeah, I'm sure they do. I would probably assume.
I would. I'd be like, hey, you're not gonna get a thing out of the stuff that I grew up with as a child.
Yeah.
and
So
grinded my
Fritz-
whole life and bawled my eyes out when I thought
right.
it wasn't going to work out in AA or single A ball.
Right. And
Nope,
looks like
you're not getting the money.
I think Fritz agrees with me because he said he's more like a 3 out of a 10. I'd be willing to bet tons of these idiots don't sign one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's all about love, man. It's all about love. She loves me, man.
It's all about simp.
I think my ex-wife is at the game tonight at T-Mobile Park. She did the double today, I think. She was at the Seahawks game and then she went to the Mariner game.
This is my second game of the day. I did the Seahawks game and the Mariners game, so me doing a doubleheader is nothing new. So that 30-minute break I got was precious. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a fly ball to left field, and Randy Arozarena is there and he makes the catch. Well, because you're not a Seahawks fan anymore. And I don't blame you for it.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that yeah, tons of them think, no, she'll never do that to me. Yeah, okay, yeah. Talk to who was the pitcher? The Dodgers that lost his career.
Clayton Kershaw. Well, he didn't lose.
No, not Clayton Kershaw. No, I'm not talking about Kershaw. I'm talking about
the pitch.
Former Indian.
Ball. I saw that. I saw that. Broke. Sports stars usually go broke after they stop playing. Yep, because they don't have a good contingency plan. I mean, look at Tyler Lockett. He has a real estate career on top of his NFL career, so he'll make a little bit of money off of his NFL teammates going, hey, I'll be your teammate and I'll be your agent. Now here's the 1-1. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Bauer, yeah, Trevor Bauer is who I was thinking about.
I mean, at least he still was able to make a living out of going to Japan and Mexico. I mean, to have the right to travel the world and still play baseball, I don't judge him for that.
Yeah, the point was that's like he hooked up with the wrong chick.
And now the 1-2, and that is outside for a ball. But luckily, she was at least tried for fraud. But the problem was the damage was already done for.
That's right.
For Trevor Bauer.
Right. That's right.
Now the 2-2 pitch, way outside for a ball. But do you know a career who really threw his career in the toilet? John Rocker.
John Rocker, yeah. Jesus, John Rocker.
He just had to say he went all in. And now we're at 3-2. And now here's the pitch. Outside for ball 4, take your base. And now we got a man on first base. And I think this is what happened last time where when there was a man on base, top of the 5th, a home run was done. And I expect Parker Meadows. My prediction is if there was a betting line, I'm putting some of my money on Parker Meadows hitting a home run because he does weird things against the Mariners.
I recently saw a podcast that had John Rocker on it, and they covered that entire crazy period. And turns
Parker
out that
Meadows
John
is a
Rocker,
273 hitter.
turns out that Mr. Rocker enjoyed a little extracurricular, if you know what I mean. A little extracurricular.
Fritz makes a really good point. And now it's going to be the 1-0. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. But I remember when John Rocker said his controversial statements about New York, he then made an apology video for the Mets game before he got on as a bullpen pitcher. Like it was on the Jumbotron of Shea Stadium. And as the video was over, you can only imagine what the reaction was when he did the apology video.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but you know what's funny is it turns out that he likes extracurriculars, if you know what I mean. He claimed on a podcast that he was high off his balls.
Now the pitch. Statements. Now here's going to be a ground ball, and now it's going to be a play to second, and the throw to first. Nope, that's going to be not in time, but it's going to be 2 outs, though. Good play by Jorge Polanco. Nearly let that through. Oh, so you think that John Rocker was off? He was not even in the right head when he said that?
Yeah, John Rocker on this podcast I listened to said that, he was high when he made those statements. He was
Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, no, this was on a podcast recently. This was like about a year ago. Yeah. And he said that he was pretty much high all the time back in the day, and I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. He seems like the kind of guy that would.
Yeah.
Do a whole bunch
well,
of,
yeah,
do a
y'all
whole, do a
like
whole bunch of cocaine.
when I said all that stuff. Yeah, I was really high on that stuff when I said that New York is New York.
Yeah.
And now we're at 0-1, and now
But
the
he
pitch.
seems like the
and now it's
kind
gonna
of-
be no one stealing.
He seemed like the kind of dude that would get all amped up on cocaine and go pitch.
I can see that, unfortunately, and he probably
I can
he might
see that.
still do that. As we're at 1-1, John Rocker also had a semi-significant moment with the Mariners too. Back in 2001, it was that earring game where the earrings with the Arthur Rhodes, and following a few innings later or so, a couple innings later, John Rocker threw a wild throw on a David Bell bunt. Now the runner goes, and that's going to be a foul ball. I think he just swung it with one hand too, and he still got contact.
Fritz, are you being sarcastic? Are you being
take
sarcastic,
John Rocker.
buddy?
You never really know a guy.
That's pretty funny.
And now we're at 1-2. And now the 1-2. And that's going to be a foul ball. And they're really just trying to get this guy out. So I was wrong about Parker Meadows. Gleyber Torres, the former Yankee, and he also became an all-star this season. He was part of that free agent class of this year, but I don't think we really considered him to be a Mariner. And now the 1-2 runner goes, and now here's going to be a ground ball, and that's going to be a base hit. And now the runner's going to be at third base, and now the runner's on at first and third with no 2 outs.
There you go. Did you see that John Rocker and Patrick Mahomes' dad got into
Oh,
a
no.
fight? I did not.
Dan Wilson's coming out because Castillo's at 85 pitches. And it's gonna be Spencer Torkelson. And either they're gonna pull him out. Nope, they pulled him out all right. And the pitcher is going to be, I don't know who it's gonna be. Pat Mahomes. Did you know that Pat Mahomes was the last pitcher of that 2001 Mariners regular season when the Mariners lost that game to go for 117, and Pat Mahomes was their last pitcher of that season?
No, I did not.
For the Texas Rangers.
Okay, that makes sense.
The dreaded 80-some pitches. He was at 85. Let's see how. So it's gonna be Kerry Carpenter. They're going. My guess is it's gonna be Gabe Spire because they're playing with the matchups, and Kerry Carpenter typically doesn't play well, so I think they're trying to do that. I don't want to make that same mistake I did yesterday because they let George Kirby pitch against Kerry Carpenter, and Kerry Carpenter just smoked it. And Kerry Carpenter is like a 230 hitter on the lefty, so
here comes the dreaded walk. Here comes the dreaded walk to the mound.
Well, yeah. Dan Wilson is pulling, so that means Castillo's not going to get the.
I'm seeing it for the first time here, so
I'm on YouTube TV, so that's why. Fritz, yeah, I know you may not like it, but I can kind of see why it makes sense because they want to put a lefty on Kerry Carpenter because Kerry Carpenter doesn't play as well against lefties. Now, remember when the Mariners played the matchup game with Yordan Alvarez, of course that didn't work because he was an above 300 hitter against lefties. So that didn't work. So I would have still kept in Paul Sewald. And I think we beat this topic like a dead horse that had Paul Sewald pitched and Yordan hit the home run, fine, whatever. Then it's on Paul Sewald, not on Scott Service. And yep, I was right. Gabe Spire, he's had a comeback season since his 2024 disastrous season, and now he's going to go up against Kerry Carpenter. And I was kind of predicting that Kerry Carpenter could hit a home run in the top of the 5th inning. They gave Castillo a standing ovation. I mean, it's not like he really pitched the lights out, so I don't know if that would have really warranted a standing ovation. I personally wouldn't have done it. I mean, he did what he could, but he didn't pitch the lights out. And now here is the pitch going to be, and now here it is. And now here's the fly ball and foul, and Kerry Carpenter seems amped up. looks like he thinks that he can hit a 3-run home run. If he does, I'm going to be like, "Hey, I'm out." I'm just kidding. But that's what it will feel like.
It would be over.
He's responsible for the runners on first and third. So if anything that Kerry Carpenter does, those runs will be charged to Luis Castillo. And now we're at 0-1. Oh, man. Fritz is really giving me a hard time, too. Rooftop just refusing to stand up with everyone at the game just because the start wasn't great enough. And now we're at 0-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a strike 2. And we've seen this before. It was on 2 strikes yesterday against George Kirby. And it was an 0-2 count. Then it became a 1-2 count. And then Kerry Carpenter hit the home run. So what I'm predicting is it's going to be a miscalled strike and then a home run. And now the 0-2 pitch, way up high for a ball. I was kind of right about the fact that it was going to be a ball. So I'm expecting this one to be the home run. I think this is going to be it. And now we're at 1-2 for Gabe Spire and Kerry Carpenter. And the time has been called. Kerry Carpenter wanted some time. I mean, I think this could be it. This could be the play that decides the entire series. Kerry Carpenter, I think, might hit that home run. I mean, the parallels are there. Bottom of the 4th inning, they took a 1-0 lead, and now here we are at the same time. And now the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to retire the side. Lapiedra put his fists out there, and they get out of an insane jam. And yeah. Oh, Gabe Spire was like this. I think we all know what he really, really said. I would have said it too.
All right, my man. I got to jump off.
You do. Thanks for being here and providing color commentating entertainment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go, Mariners. Let's get this one done. Have a good night, guys. Fritz.
Good.
It's a pleasure.
Good night.
Have a good night.
All right, guys. Goodbyes only. Don't forget it.
Stop it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for being on the show. And that's how I had to give you a send-off there. Yeah, Gabe Spire he absolutely just went right after him. Game 1. Mariners took lead 4th inning with a home run. Tigers, Kerry Carpenter hit a game-leading home run in the top of the 5th. Game 2. Whew. That was just too close. And we are back from the break, and I just got $1. What will the Mariners fans say when Cal Raleigh goes hitless in this series? He already got 3 hits yesterday. And now here is Mitch Garver, and now the pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball to center field, and he makes the catch. Of course he did. And that's going to be 1 out. And again, Mitch Garver cannot be on this team anymore. We will be moving on from him real soon. Mariners made sure to not make that same mistake. Now here's Victor Robles. And that is going to be a strike. As now we're at 0-1. And thankfully, I don't need to have these ear-squeezing headsets with me. As now we're at 0-1 for Robles, the pitch. And way up high for a ball. There's no way you're going to call a strike on that one, aren't you? And now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And now here's going to be a broken bat, fly ball to center field. And this could, nope. Parker Meadows makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 outs. What a separation from that bat. And now it's going to be the next batter. And it's going to be J.P. Crawford. And J.P. Crawford's going to have to do something. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a bunt. And this might actually get it over. And it gets over. And finally, J.P. Crawford actually does a bunt. And now we got a man on first base. It was a very gutsy move by JP, but he gets himself at first base to set himself up for Randy Arozarena. Glaber tried to flip it over to first base, and it didn't really work. Torkelson kind of just watched it go over the head. Now here's Randy Arozarena, and that is going to be a strike. Now we're at 0-1 for Randy. And now here is the pitch. Way up high for a ball. That almost hit him, and that is going to be 1-1. The chant of Randy is ongoing. Randy, 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 Randy. And now we're at 1-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And Sean Lee, stop it. I wonder who I mixed up Cal with the second night. It may have been, yeah. It's okay. Don't worry about it, Teresa K. And now we're at 1-2. He could be striking out. And now here is the pitch. Way outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-2. Still 2-2. Or it is 2-2. And Scooball can easily get out of this inning. And now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's going to retire the side. An awful swing by Randy Arozarena. And now we are going into they're doing an Arch Manning commercial. How special.
Since 2022, I have been building the Rooftop Sports YouTube channel, and I want to thank all of you for your support and engagement. Without all of you, there is no Rooftop Sports. Now, if you would like to take your support to the next level, join my exclusive YouTube membership program for just $5 a month. Get first access to new videos, ad-free content, and exclusive insights from my fantasy sports, as I do play many fantasy sports leagues. Plus, follow along with my softball seasons like never before. You also get access to my own emojis to use to comment on my videos and my live streaming shows. For just $5 per month, Become a bigger part of my community and get ready for unparalleled sports experience. Let's do this.
Commercial break is still ongoing. Fritz, thank you very much for that $1. And now the magic number is going to be 48 till I get to my goal of 50. It's my daily goal or my lively goal. Let's get there. So best case scenario, I could have made $100 today, but I'm not there yet. And I will try not to lose sleep over it. Oh, $5. Now the magic number is 43. Let's get to 50. Would really make my day if you guys do it. And now we are back from the break. And now the pitch. And that is a strike. And we got Gabe Spire, and they're not Dan Wilson's, I guess, trying not to make the same mistakes as he did last night of yanking pitchers after just 3 pitches. He only has 5 pitches now. And now here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And that is going to be strike 2. But my fear is I would imagine that after Riley Green and it goes to Spencer Torkelson, I wonder if they're going to pull him again, pull Gabe Spire. And now the pitch, low for a ball, and that is going to be ball 1. Jorge Polanco hit a home run earlier in the 4th inning. And they are living and dying by the home run indeed. As now we're at 1-2, and now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 1-2. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is 2 strikeouts in a row for Gabe Spire. And now it's going to be 1 out. Now here is Spencer Torkelson up to the plate. And now here is the pitch. Outside for a ball, and that is ball 1. And still a lot of baseball left in this game. And Tigers can come back at any time. As now we're at 1-0. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. That's going to be strike 1. Now we're at 1-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And now we're at 1-2. It's going to be Gabe Spire against Spencer Torkelson. He is 0 for 2. And let's make it 0 for 3. And now here is the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford. Easy play. Go to first. That is going to be in time. And Naylor had to stretch out just a little bit. And that's going to be 2 outs. Pete Woodworth is coming out. Yeah, Munoz is out. He is definitely out. He went 20 pitches. I don't think he can pitch. Bizzardo is now in the bullpen. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. But yeah, Fritz, I think that he is out tonight. 28 pitches and 2 innings. I think it was like 24 to be exact. And now here is the pitch. Going to be outside for a ball, 1-1. That was clearly outside, unfortunately. And that's going to be 1-1. Now it's 1-1. Munoz went 25 pitches. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up. And that should do it for this inning. Polanco, who's calling for it? And he's there and he makes the catch. And that's going to retire the side. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gabe Spire. What a performance that he has been having in this game and this series. And now we will go into commercial break. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing.
Yep, go to Sahara Pizza tomorrow. And also, I'm going to be at Sahara Pizza tomorrow myself to do the draft. And I'm really excited for the draft. To say that I'm excited for the draft is an absolute understatement. It's going to be the hockey draft. And we are back from the break, and Tarek Skubal is still on the mound, and it's amazing, and it's an absolute miracle that the Mariners still have a was off of a home run by Jorge Polanco, and now we got Cal Raleigh up to the plate. And now here is the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that is strike one. Here's the 0-1 and check swing. Did he go? He did not, and thank goodness he didn't, because that was just embarrassing. Now we're at 1-1. Let's see what he can do. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike two. Now the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike three. Absolutely no surprise on that one. And that's going to be one out. And I got some other $2. And now here's the pitch. Now here's going to be a liner caught by Spencer Torkelson. That's going to be 2 outs already. I got $6, $8, $42 is now the magic number. Get me to 50 if you can. Jorge Polanco is now up to the plate. He's been the hero so far as he hit the solo home run. And it was a home run that got out in a hurry. It barely got out, but that's all it would needed. He had 26 home runs and 78 RBIs. He had a good comeback season compared to last season. And now here is the pitch. Way up high for a ball. That's going to be ball one. It's going to be 1-0 for Jorge Polanco. See if he can get another home run. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Yeah, in the 4th inning, it was a home run that looked pretty good and went into the Mariners bullpen. But we got it. We need another one. And now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. That was outside the strike zone. And now that's going to be 1-2. And now here is the pitch. Low for a ball. That's going to be 2-2. And Tarek Skubal is still pitching very efficiently. And I expect him to get another inning in the 7th inning, especially he's only on 82 pitches going into the 6th inning. Now it's 2-2. And now here is the pitch. And low for a ball. 3-2. That should have been a walk, though. But it's going to be a full count, 3-2. And now the 3-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball belted to deep left field. And that is gone. The Mariners now take a 2-0 lead on another home run. Second home run by Jorge Polanco. And I believe the last Mariner to ever do that in Mariners playoff history was Ken Griffey Jr. back in 1995. What a huge blast by Jorge Polanco. 2-0 Mariners. And it seems that they might just be running away with it, but not quite yet. But it's something that they absolutely needed. And Jorge Polanco, the unlikely hero for the Mariners. Unbelievable. And Tarek Skubal is an absolute disbelief. Now here's the pitch to Suarez. And a swing and a miss. And that is going to be strike one. Polo definitely got that one. He definitely needed it. And that was off the right side of his bat. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Yeah, I definitely need more than 2 runs because that was a great call. Are you sure about that? I hope you're right. Yeah, that was just absolutely just monster. That was just blasted. Now the pitch. Swinging him mid strike. Oh, Suarez, you made me give the Yao Ming laugh. Why? Why? And now we're gonna go into the top of the 7th inning.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki tiki. Tiki tiki with pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're gonna spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready. Put it on the oven. Let it run.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
Woo! How about a home run by Jorge Polanco? And also, I got it wrong. It wasn't Ken Griffey Jr. It was actually Jay Buhner was the last Mariner in Mariners playoff history to hit 2 home runs in 1 game. It was actually Jay Buhner back in 1995, Game 3 against the Cleveland Indians, when Jay Buhner hit 2 home runs, and he hit the second home runs in extra innings, especially after the fact that Jay Buhner allowed a tie to happen because he mistimed a fly ball where he let one go right over his head. He took that 1 step forward rather than taking that 1 step back. Yeah, so that's what it was. Now we're back from the break. Bizardo up to the plate, or the mound, the pitch, and that's going to be a strike. And Bizardo has come a long way. Like, he was actually not one of the better relief pitchers in the Mariners bullpen for many years, or for at least a couple years. He's had the best season so far. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a strike, and that's going to be 0-2 on the Dingler. Now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. And now here's going to be a ground ball right to Naylor, and the toss over the first, and that's going to be in time. And that is going to be 1 out. They just won't stop talking about Jorge Polanco, won't they? I mean, you can't really blame them, can you? And now it's going to be 0-1 for Zach McKinstry. And now the pitch, way low for a ball. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2. Now we're at 1-2. The pitch. Low for a ball, and that's going to be 2-2. Now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball foul. Tarek Skubal had 9 strikeouts. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that's going to be 2 outs. And now it's going to be up to Javier Baez. And we'll see what he's made up of. Joe Doyle is saying that he said it last night, that he will say it again. If Bryce Miller isn't an option for the Mariners tonight in a priority spot, it's a mistake. And now the pitch and a swing and a miss. And maybe he's saying that they should consider using Bryce Miller. And now we're at 0-1. And now here is the pitch. Way outside for a ball. That is going to be 1-1. I don't know if Bizzardo is going to have another go. He might have to. As now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Way outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-1. Mariners are absolutely going to need. They are absolutely going to have to make something. They're absolutely going to have to do something with their bullpen for sure. Maybe use Bryce Miller. Now the 2-1 pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball to center field. And Julio's going to drop it. It's going to drop in for a base hit. And now we got a man on first base. And it's going to be Parker Meadows up to the plate, who typically hits well against the Mariners. And Julio kind of should have let that. She probably should have dove for it, but maybe he just didn't have the range for it to even make a diving catch. They're talking about how much that T-Mobile Park is a pitcher-friendly ballpark, but it's not the reason why the Mariners can't really get any hits going. Now here's the pitch. It's going to be low for a ball. After brilliant pitching by Eduardo Bizzardo, he then gives up a single, and the game could change quickly. Like, you could possibly have Parker Meadows hitting a 2-run home run to tie the game. And now here's the pitch, and that's going to be in there for a strike. If you're a Mariners geek like me, the only reason why you might rep Parker Meadows is because he robbed a home run away from Cal Raleigh last season. And now here is going to be the 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be a strike. That was unbelievably a home run pitch for Parker Meadows. And I'm telling you, fans, oh my God, I just knocked down my Seahawks helmet hat. Now, yeah, I'm telling all of you, everyone up on your feet. If you're watching it on the TV, get up on your feet. And now here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. Stay up on your feet. Get up on your feet. You got to do it. Now we're at 1-2 for Parker Meadows, who is 0 for 2. Come on, let's go. As now we're at 1-2, and now the pitch. How could you not? No! No! You couldn't even do a gimme on that one? You owe us for that, umpire. The frame job was there. And now we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. And now here's going to be fly ball popped up into J.P. Crawford. He's there, and he makes the catch. And that's going to retire the side. The Mariners get off of a little bit of a scare. And now it's time to do the 7th inning stretch, unless they're doing the God Bless America. Nope. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because they have a 2-0 lead off of Tarek Skubal. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Aloe. Oh, no. Say, we gotta go. Yeah. Loe. Oh, baby. Say, we gotta go. A fine little girl, she waiting for me. I catch a ship across the sea. And I'll live all alone. We never think I'll make it home. Aloe. No. We gotta go. No, said Loe. Oh, baby, say we gotta go. And days I sailed the sea. All right, that's it. And we will be back from the break eventually. Oh my goodness, this game is just so intense. All I can say is going to Detroit is going to be hell. That's all I'm going to say for you. That's all I've got to say. And we are back from the break. This has been an insane game, too. Mariners have a 2-0 lead on Tarek Skubal. Luis Castillo did what he could. And Jorge Polanco hit 2 home runs. And it was exactly what they needed, but they're still living and dying by home runs. Let's get some nice little small ball ones going. Polanco, his first career multi-home run game in the postseason. Yeah, they cannot go 0-2, that's for sure. And now the pitch to Naylor. And that's going to be a ground ball right to first base and toss over to first in time. And Tarek Skubal is still pitching, trying to keep the Tigers in this game. And now the pitch to Garver. And that's going to be low for a ball. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike to Mitch Garver. It's going to be a 1-1 count. Again, he really should not be playing. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball, and that will get right through for a base hit. And now you got Mitch Garver on first base with 1 out. Oh, looks like Luke Raley is going to be pinch running for Mitch Garver. I mean, Mitch Garver did get on base, and now let's see if we can do some small ball. Let's do a bunt right over here, shall we? And now the pitch. Oh, yep, he's going for the bunt, and it's going to be a foul ball. Didn't exactly go to the right spot because it would have gotten them 2 outs. Yeah, it would have advanced, but maybe shot a bunt on the other side. That's what you want to do. And now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Oh, inside. That nearly hit him, and that's going to be 1-1. Now we're at 1-1. And now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that was way outside the strike zone, and that's going to be 1-2. Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be, yeah, it's popped up. And that was to Spencer Torkelson, who will make the catch. Going to be J.P. Crawford up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball, and that's going to be a play to first base, and it is in time. And the Tigers get out of that inning after a nice hit by Mitch Garver. And that's going to retire the side. We're going to be going to the top of the 8th with the top-heavy lineup. We got Torres, Carpenter, and Riley Green.
Since 2022, I have been building the Rooftop Sports YouTube channel, and I want to thank all of you for your support and engagement. Without all of you, there is no Rooftop Sports. Now, if you would like to take your support to the next level, join my exclusive YouTube membership program for just $5 a month. Get first access to new videos, ad-free content, and exclusive insights from my fantasy sports, as I do play many fantasy sports leagues. Plus, follow along with my softball seasons like never before. You also get access to my own emojis to use to comment on my videos and my live streaming shows. For just $5 per month, become a bigger part of my community and get ready for unparalleled sports experience. Let's do this.
Hockey will be back in the next 2 days. %20 chance for them to score 2 runs for the rest of the game. And now here is Gleyber Torres. And now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Now we're at 1-0. Now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike. And that's going to be 1-1. And Matt Brash is on the mound, by the way. And maybe some were saying that maybe Eduardo Bizardo should have gotten 1 inning. And now the 1-1. And that's going to be a foul ball. I don't know if Munoz is going to even get a shot because he may not be available today. And now the pitch. Way outside for a ball. Now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball again. It's like Tarek Skubal is going to be done for the day. I mean, he did a fantastic job. He did as much as he could. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. I mean, it wasn't a strike, but it seems that the fans feel that they still owe them. The umpire still owes the Mariners for a lot of. Yeah, that was outside for sure. And now the 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to right field. And that's going to be foul. That was well out of play. And now we're at 3-2. Now the pitch. Way inside for ball 4. Take your base. And already we got a man on first base and the tying run at the plate. And already things are already looking very, very dangerous. All it takes is like a 1 bad at bat for Matt Brash. And next thing you know, they have a really good shot to really make it a problem. And now here's Kerry Carpenter, who does well against righties. Now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. He hit a huge home run yesterday. To say that was a huge home run yesterday was an absolute understatement. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. And Brash he's a very streaky, volatile pitcher. There's moments where he really does do well. And then there are moments he's so streaky. Just volatility at its best. And now we're at 1-1 for Kerry Carpenter. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 2. Yeah, you definitely can't call from behind. Can't fall from behind. Giving up a homer is almost as bad as, I mean, it is bad. Now we're at 1-2 for Matt Brash, or for Kerry Carpenter. And now here's the pitch. Way outside for a ball. What are you doing, Matt Brash? Like, you just really just don't really have much control, do you? Mariner fans are very loud. Now the pitch and a foul ball, and he's still keeping it alive. Now, and now the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball, and that just a few feet away, and that could have really been dangerous. I will be doing game 3 and game 4 in the coming future in this week. And now we're at 2-2. And now it's going to be 3-2. Matt Price, what are you doing? Get yourself in control, which you really don't have. No, you just go for the fastball. Just go right after Kerry Carpenter. And now the pitch. And strike 3 called. And that was just right in there, barely. And now it's going to be 1 out. That was a real close one on a 3-2 count. I will be there for the Mariners game, for game 3 and game 4. And game 5, if necessary, I will also be there. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a ground ball foul. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. And that was talk about a makeup call right there. And that's going to be 0-2. And the fans are really getting loud up there. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Riley Green kind of half-assed that swing. And it's going to be still 0-2. This game is really making me feel very uncomfortable. We're at 0-2 for Matt Brash to Riley Green. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball off the glove, and everyone could be safe to throw to first. Not in time. What happened? Like, Polanco, were you paying attention? That was off the glove of Naylor, and now we got the lead run at the plate. And now the batter is going to be Spencer Torkelson. I mean, Naylor just couldn't field it. That was just that should be considered an error on Naylor. And now you got Spencer Torkelson, who is very capable of hitting home runs. Now you got Pete Woodworth coming out. Like, I am predicting a home run. Game 3 is going to happen. And now here is Torkelson, the pitch, swing and a miss, and that is strike 1. Yep. Mariners have some of the most volatile bullpen that I have ever seen. You got Andres Munoz, who's very volatile, and the same thing with Matt Brash. And now we're at 0-1, and now the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball, and Brash just throws freaking strikes. Yeah, Sean Lee, I can see it too, and I don't blame you for saying it. As now we're at 1-1. Now the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. How did Torkelson fall for that one? I would like to see a strike on in the upper corner on the inside. That's what I would like to see if you can. As now we're at 1-2. Now here's the pitch. Way outside for a ball. And Brash is just making himself very predictable. He got lucky on Torkelson swinging and missing. As that we're at 2-2. The pen is really depleted after just wasting everything. Now we're at 2-2. And now here's the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to already score in the run. And that could already score in another run. It's like, hurry up. What are you doing? And now the throw of the play is cut off. And now it's going to be a tie game. Like, Robles was just not hustling at all. He was just letting it sail through. And now we got a tie game. And the crowd just got silent immediately. The ball got stuck. That's what it was. It really got stuck. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike one. The Mariners they're obviously out of firepower. And now we're at 0-1. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. Glad you were picky and nibbed with the first hitter, Brash. That's kind of why I wanted Bizzardo for just one more inning. See if he can just at least get one more bat out. But he just keeps... that's obviously a fair ball. And now we're at 0-2. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be strike three called. And that's going to be 2 outs. If only he did that on the last at-bat. Especially on 2 strikes. Now, game 4 has just turned into if necessary. And that's going to be a strike. Now we're at 0-1. Now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. It's going to be 0-2. As we're at 2 outs. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? And he did. And that's going to be strike 3. And at this point, I think the odds for the Mariners have completely gone down. How are the Mariners at a 66% win probability? That doesn't make any sense.
My point is it's across all Seattle sports. It's this idea, like people pleading 3-4 years ago to bring back Ichiro.
Yeah,
when Ichiro was like 93 years old. I'm like, no, I do not want to bring back Ichiro. Like Griffey when he's got a walker out there and he gives you a single every 60 games. Like the list goes on and on. Like people crying. Like Haniger comes back, and you think that we just signed a Hall of Famer. Like he was injured all of last year. He's like 33 years old. We trade for him, give up on Robbie Ray, which whatever. And all of a sudden, I swear, all of Twitter is like, World Series, baby! Let's go! Let's go! He was a negative WAR player for them last year, but because we love Hanny, baby, he's going to come and save the Mariners.
Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing for us.
And now it's going to be Randy Arozarena up to the plate. We're back from the break, and now here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike one. And you would think that the momentum now all belongs to Detroit. Yeah, that just makes it worse. I don't believe in promises. Now the 0-1. And that is going to be way outside for a ball. I still don't understand how the Mariners have a 66% probability. And now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And that is going to be strike two. Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, and that is going to be 2-2. Now we're at 2-2. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike three. He was not fooled one bit. Or he was. And now here's Cal Raleigh up to the plate. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a liner to right field, and that is going to be a base hit, and Cal Raleigh should be going to second base. Here is the throw to second base, and the throw is going to be cut off. And now you got a runner in scoring position with one out. And now you got Julio Rodriguez, who has a chance to be the hero. And he has every bit of opportunity to do so. The Mariners are if they're going to win this game, the Mariners are going to have to score a lot more than one run. And somehow something tells me find a way to F this up. And now we're at Julio Rodriguez up to the plate. And now here is the pitch. Way up in for a ball. And that is going to be ball one. On deck is going to be Jorge Polanco. They're chanting Julio. Yeah, just don't swing at any of the bad ones. And now the 1-0 pitch. And now here's going to be a liner to left field. And that's going to be a base hit. Cal Raleigh is rounding. He should be going home. The Mariners now take the lead to make it a 3-2 game on a one-out RBI double by Julio Rodriguez. And within like a couple minutes, the Mariners take the lead to make it 3-2. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what I just saw. Julio is delivering in the clutch. And now the Mariners take the lead 3-2. Oh my goodness. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Woo! And now we've got Jorge Polanco. And Polanco, you don't have to do a home run. Just poke something in so you can get Julio in. And now we're at the pitch. And now here it's going to be the pitch. And that's going to be a ball. And Fritz, there's nothing wrong with, there's nothing wrong with Fritz's statements. I was kind of believing in it too. This game is making me go all pacey. And now we're at 1-0 for Polanco. And now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. And that's exactly what I wanted to see, was some of that small ball baseball, which they finally did it. We're at 2-0. And now we're going to be, here it is. And now here is the pitch. And check swing. Did you really have to? Of course you did. There's nothing to boo there. That was just a terrible swing by Jorge Polanco. Like, there's no reason to boo the call. It was just, you're booing this bad swinging approach by Polanco. As now we're at 2-1 for Jorge Polanco. Yeah, it was very much Dom Canzone-esque. It was like this. Go-to pitch.
You gotta love these guys.
I mean, he literally just That's what it pretty much was. As now we're at 2-1 for Jorge Polanco. What can he do? Can he do another one? He doesn't need a home run. Just do something. And now the pitch. And now here's going to be a broken bat, and that might get through. No, the throw the first. No play. There is absolutely no play. Now you got a runner on first and second, or first and third with just one out. And now who is next up to the plate? It's going to be Eugenio Suarez. Yeah. I mean, Suarez, let me make it simple for you. You don't have to hit a home run. You can just make a very simple swing. Just drive in Julio Rodriguez. I don't need a home run from you. What I need from you is just go for a simple hit. Just something simple. You don't need home runs. Or you can at least just go for a sacrifice, but preferably some kind of small ball approach. But he's going to try to hit a home run, isn't he? He's just going to try to go for that 3-run home run, which I don't think is deemed necessary. No, 2 runs is not going to be enough. Just a single, anything but a double play. That is correct. And now here is going to be the pitch to Suarez, who is 0 for 3. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. He is now 0 for 7 in this series. A flyout and 2 strikeouts. But a sacrifice fly might do, but I just want a hit to just avoid an out. Eugenio Suarez. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. Good eye. And that's going to be 2-0. And the man on deck is going to be Josh Naylor, who is, though, 0 for 3. But he owes us for his error in the previous inning. And now it's going to be 2-0. Not inning. And it's going to be 2-0 pitch. Now here it is. Low for a ball. That's going to be 3-0. Now the question is, honestly, I don't know. Are they going to give him a strike? They're going to try to probably do it right in the inside. That's what I'm probably thinking. But they're going to try to sell it. I would probably just go right after it. As we're at 3-0, the pitch. Swing and a miss. I knew it. I knew it. They're going to throw a strike at 96, and that's all you have to do. Just throw it right down the middle. He's not going to hit anything. As now we're at 3-1 for Eugenio Suarez. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And it's going to be very predictable that probably going to strike out. Only to be left with Josh Naylor, and it's not going to do much because he's also 0 for 3. And now it's going to be 3-2. Josh Naylor on deck. And now here is the pitch. And now here's going to be a ground ball and the play, throw to play, and that's going to be in time. And Julio may have just jumped the gun too quickly, and that's going to be 2 outs. Oh, Julio, what were you thinking? You should have just, you couldn't just be patient with it, couldn't you? All I can say is, Julio, you idiot. Julio, you idiot. Julio, you idiot. What an idiot. Yeah, you do have to stay at third. That's like fundamental baseball right there. You don't have to be an athletic freak to know that you just stay at third base. It's unbelievable. Unless he was just trying to break up a double play, I guess. Because otherwise it probably would have been a double play. I mean, Suarez tried to not work. If he stays at third, the double play inning is over. Julio knew he was out, but right. So basically, Julio took the fall for the team. Oh my gosh. My battery is running out for my tablet. Whoa, I got to charge that thing. You know, it's a 1-out double by Cal Raleigh, and then Julio, like you said, it into. And now here is Brant Herter. And it's going to be Josh Naylor up to the plate. And again, he doesn't have to hit a home run. All he has to do is just hit something. Just make it interesting. Just hit it somewhere in the gap, and you can get Polanco in. And now the pitch. And check swing, did he go? I want to see the replay on this one. Yep, he went around, no doubt. Either way, it was a really terrible swinging approach. Really confused why he even did that. As now we're at 0-1, the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball already down to the final strike. But all I know is a 1-run lead is just not going to be enough. And in the 9th inning, I think it's going to be Dingler, McKinstry, and Baez, who are a combined 1 for 8. Now we're at 0-2, and you may not even have Munoz available because he already pitched 2 innings last night with a totaling of 25 pitches. You cannot have Ferguson in there, as now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch, way low for a ball, and that is going to be ball 1. Josh Naylor's now we're at 1-2, and now here is the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball foul. Ferguson and Vargas. Oh, don't even get me started. I got to see this Mariners playoff roster. You could have Emerson Hancock, Luke Jackson, Bryce Miller. So there are options. And now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And what was that? A terrible swing by Josh Naylor. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, Naylor is just not there. I guess people are saying just go on leave, but if you put Naylor on leave, then who's going to be your first baseman? Luke Raley's going to be your first baseman. Is that what you really want? I wouldn't be so sure about that. Well, Jorge Polanco actually had a good game. He hit 2 home runs today. And also at the end of this game, Jay Trident Podcast will be joining the show. Yeah, this offense has really got to pick it up. We really do need to keep this together. Just a first division title in 25 years. We cannot. I don't want to see the season just end so soon. It would just be an absolute disappointment. It would just be an absolute tragedy to see the Mariners go down in the division series. We're going to find out who's pitching. And it's going to be Andres Munoz. Ooh, I don't know about this. They're going with Andres Munoz. 25 pitches yesterday. I don't know how he's going to fare. You better have Emerson Hancock already ready in the bullpen. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. And noticeably, you can see that his velocity has went down. Leo Rivas is now playing at second base in place of Jorge Polanco for defensive purposes. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 2. What a game this has been so far between the Mariners and the Tigers, especially off of Tarek Skubal. The fact that they were able to get 2 runs off of him is a freaking miracle. No, I thought Emerson Hancock would have been available. And now we're at 0-2 for McKinstry. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got the tag. And that's going to be 1 out. Now the magic number is going to be 2 out. And now the next batter after McKinstry, it's going to be Javier Baez and then Parker Meadows, who literally lives rent-free in my head. Parker Meadows tends to be the Mariner killer, but he hasn't been so today, luckily. Now it's Javier Baez. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 1. Nice slider by Andres Munoz. Andres Munoz is really dialed in. And now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up. And that is possibly going to be 2 outs. Talk, guys. And Rivas makes the catch. And that's going to be 2 outs. And we are just 1 out away from ending this game to even the series at 1 game apiece. The crowd is as rampant as it gets. Now it's going to be up to Parker Meadows. And be careful with Parker Meadows. He is a career 270 hitter against the Mariners. And he's tended to do weird things against them, including that robbing the home run. Now here is Parker Meadows, the pitch. And that's going to be a ball, not this time. It's going to be 1-0. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, fielder's choice, and a putout. And now we're at 1-0. The pitch, way outside for a ball. And you got to get this guy out because you cannot have the opportunities given to Gleyber Torres, Kerry Carpenter, and Riley Green. Got to get it done now. And now here's the 2-0. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that is a slider. And that is going to be strike 1. Just 2 more to go. And why does 2 more feel like 20? 2 more strikes is basically 20 strikes. As now we're at 2-1. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss at the dirt for strike 2. And now it's game time. 1 strike away, but it does feel like 10. And now it comes down to this. On to the final strike. Munoz looking for what he's got. He's got it. And now it's 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch on the way. And a foul ball. And this crowd was about to explode. The Mariners can be the saving grace of the bad weekend of Seattle sports. Victor Robles is being shown on the camera. Now we are at 2-2. And now it comes down to this, the 2-2 pitch. And a foul ball. And Parker Meadows just won't go down without a fight. Munoz has recorded 8 outs. Most on back-to-back days in career is 8 outs. So this will be his record if he gets it. 2-2 for Parker Meadows. And here it is. He's got what he wants, the 2-2 pitch. And a foul ball again. And Parker Meadows just won't go down. He just won't let it go. I mean, if you think about it, you're probably going to win the next 2 games in Detroit anyway. It was barely just got a nick out of it. And now it's 2-2. And now the pitch. And low for a ball 3. I'm telling you. 1 more strike. It literally feels like 10. We're at 3-2. Full count. He's going to do this again. And now the 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball right to Naylor. And a toss over the first. And that is in time. And the Mariners finally get the win. They even the series at 1-1, and it's their first home playoff win since 2001, Game 5 against the Cleveland Indians. And you got to give it to the credit of Luis Castillo trying to grind it as much as he could. And then Jorge Polanco's 2 home runs off of Tarek Skubal, and then Julio Rodriguez with a clutch RBI double. And then Andres Munoz getting that save, the 1-2-3, getting 2 strikeouts on Javier Baez. 1 strikeout on Javier Baez, a pop out, and then a ground out to Josh Naylor. He made sure he didn't get that error. The main Mariners of this series have been doing the work is Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, and Jorge Polanco. And the Mariners, if they at least win 1 game, they can guarantee themselves for a Game 5. And I will, of course, be available. I will be there for the 2 Mariners games for Game 3 and Game 4. It's not going to be an if necessary anymore. I'm going to be there for Games 3 and 4. And now I'm just waiting for Jay Trident Podcast, as he's going to be doing the the post game show with me. Yep. I cannot believe what happened. It was the expectations were, it seemed that it was only going to be a matter of time, that it was going to be a 2-0 series lead off of Tarek Skubal pitching. But instead, Jorge Polanco hit 2 home runs off of Tarek Skubal. And I just can't believe it. I am just in absolute shock. And now I'm just waiting for Jay Trident Podcast to get on the show. Just absolutely shocked. And this game pretty much went on for 3 hours. And I mean, the player of the game is definitely going to be Jorge Polanco. 2 home runs. The last time a Mariner did it was in 1995. And the last time that even happened, when a Mariner hit 2 home runs in a game, in one game, in the playoffs, I was 3 years old. Toy Story didn't even exist. Pierce Brosnan's GoldenEye didn't even exist. So a lot has happened since the Mariners hit 2 home runs in one game. And Jay Trident Podcast will be coming on in just 5 minutes. Oh, man. Give me a breather, man. Like, I just can't believe what I saw.
Since 2022, I have been building the Rooftop Sports YouTube channel, and I want to thank all of you for your support and engagement. Without all of you, there is no Rooftop Sports. Now, if you would like to take your support to the next level, join my exclusive YouTube membership program for just $5 a month. Get first access to new videos, ad-free content, and exclusive insights from my fantasy sports, as I do play many fantasy sports leagues. Plus, follow along with my softball seasons like never before. You also get access to my own emojis to use to comment on my videos and my live streaming shows. For just $5 per month, become a bigger part of my community and get ready for unparalleled sports experience. Let's do this.
Woo! Oh, man. Yep. Mariners has its first playoff home win in 24 years. That was against the Cleveland Indians, Game 5. Jamie Moyer was the pitcher. Now Jay Trident Podcast is on. And whew, we have lots to talk about, I think. How are you feeling?
Man, I've been under the weather actually today, and oh man, what a win! Season saving. They had to win that baseball game. They found a way to do it. They beat Skubal 3 times on the season. Now you go into Detroit, which with what I think you have some favorable. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I'm sorry. Favorable pitching matchups, and you're right back in this thing. But man, they never make it easy, do they?
No, they. Otherwise, if everything was easy, I guess everything would be boring. I guess that's what the Mariners are trying to teach us. They just want the game to be as exciting as possible, but in the most unnecessary ways. And before, I'll admit it, before going into this game, I was thinking a lot of things. I was thinking, like, first, let me tell you this. I woke up this morning with sleep paralysis. Have you ever had those before? Yes.
Is it that's when, like, you can't move, right? Or
you
something?
can't move and you're still conscious, but you can kind of
Yeah.
move your head and your hands are like,
Yeah.
And I was like shaking my head like, "Eh." And I was starting to think that, you know what? The Mariners gave me sleep paralysis. So that's how my day started.
Well, I mean, and then, not to change sports, but I mean, the Seahawks game was a tough one. That was kind of a brutal loss. And, it looked like the Mariners were going to take this one, and then they give up 2 runs in the 8th. I mean, just incredible, just an incredible win. And, in good shape. You would have loved to got both of these in Seattle, but you had to get one, and they did that.
You had to get one, which you absolutely had to do. And before this game, like, I was thinking like the worst possible things, like Tarek Skubbal's pitching. He's nearly unstoppable in the playoffs. And of course, there's like everyone's saying that, well, the Mariners are 2-0, but that was regular season. And they just happened to catch him like at the most perfect time possible. So I was banking that it was going to be a tough game, which it was. I mean, credit to Tarek Skubal. I mean, he's as usual, like 9 strikeouts, 97 pitches, only 5 hits. And the only 2 big hits he really gave up was home runs by Jorge Polanco, which was absolutely insane. Like, you'll see my reactions eventually that I was just like absolutely just shocked, especially the first one's like, is that going to go? Because I don't have the camera angles.
Right.
And the second one was like, wow, that really went. But yeah, that's what my mindset was. And then if they would have lost game 2, I mean, going into Detroit where the Mariners typically don't really do well in Detroit either. Like, and I was thinking like in game 1, we saw that 0 for 28 other than Julio and Cal Raleigh. And I was like, if the Mariners can't even get hits off of a bullpen day, how are they going to do it against Tarek Skubal? But they actually kind of did. They got 5 hits off of him, which I guess they arguably did better than the other, than the last game against bullpen. So that was very impressive. And how about Luis Castillo he wasn't great, but he also got himself out of the game. 85 pitches. He had 4 walks. Like, I've noticed in the first part of the game, his command was just not there. And it was an absolute miracle that he got out of it. So I could see why he got the standing ovation because he did fight for every bit of out possible just to get out. And other key moments of the game, and I know I'm just monopolizing the conversation, but how about Dan Wilson making that big move to take out Luis Castillo, especially with Kerry Carpenter, because it was like aligning, right? Jorge Polanco hits that solo home run to make it a
4th too.
game in the 4th, and we're going to the top of the 5th, same situation. And Dan Wilson's like, no, we're not going to let history repeat itself. We're going to bring in the lefty, just like what Dan Wilson probably should have done last night. So I think they were just not going to make that same mistake. And what do you know? Gabe Spire just strikes him out, and he just pitched absolutely amazing. But I'll let you say other things because I've really just been going off because
you're good, man. No, you are absolutely fine. Yeah. I mean, yesterday stuck with Kirby against Carpenter. That was I know we kind of talked back and forth about some of the Dan stuff. I know you were a little harsher than I was yesterday, but I definitely thought could have gone to Spire there yesterday as well. It was the same spot, 4 2/3 for Kirby, literally everything the same in that situation. And today goes to Spire early. And I mean, he has been so good this year. Gabe Spire gives him an inning and a third. Bizzardo is fantastic. The bullpen really, I mean, Brash is a tough one, right? Because like the walk was bad. Naylor, though, boots probably a double play ball or at least an out. The pitch to Torkelson wasn't terrible, but he had just been throwing him sliders that he was missing. I don't know why he tried to buzz a fastball in on him there. Wasn't hit all that hard. Brash is a tough one for me to judge. I don't think he was as bad as 2 runs, but I don't think he was great either necessarily. And then Munoz I was a little bit nervous too, having pitched 2 innings yesterday. That was as good as I've seen him in a while, to be perfectly honest. So bullpen has really been fantastic all series. Outside of Vargas yesterday, they've really done a solid job, and they need it.
It was really just the volatile ones, right? Like Vargas yesterday and Matt Brash. Like there's that Matt Brash is like that love-hate. You either love him or you just completely hate him. Like when he is dialed in, like he's like nearly unstoppable, and he's scary too. But then there's games where it's like it's in the outside, it's going everywhere. Now the fastball. Now was it like in the corner or was it like down the middle?
It was kind of up and in. So he kind of inside outed it. It wasn't like he kind of jammed him on. I mean, he got enough on. It was hit at 85 miles per hour. The exit velo on the hit. So, I mean, he got a decent bat on it, but just kind of went down the right field line there. It was just more of like he didn't seem to be catching up to the slider, or not catching up, but not making contact with it. So it just seemed like Brash maybe getting a little too cute trying to go fastball there. And I wonder if he was trying to go up a little bit more out of the zone, try to get a swing and miss at the top of the zone. But yeah, I mean, like you said, though, with Brash, like, I mean, he's the guy I'm most screaming at going, I'm done when I see him walking people. But then sometimes you see the stuff and it's like, I don't know how the guy gives up a hit sometimes either, with the stuff. So it's one of those things where you can't not go to him, obviously, because of the stuff is so good. The issue with Brash, it's kind of just always been the same, right? He just doesn't have a lot of clue where it's going. The stuff is as good as anybody in baseball. And really his walk rate isn't high or anything either, but it just seems like there's always a critical walk. I don't know. All his underlying data is fantastic. So it's kind of a hard guy to judge, but I'd be lying if I wasn't nervous when he comes in. But I guess playoff baseball, when are we not nervous at any point?
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to take ownership that I remember I was saying it during the live streaming, like, because those sliders was just driving me nuts, and he kind of got lucky with the swinging and with that one swing and miss because it was like going way outside the strike zone. And I actually was like, yeah, if you just pitch a fastball maybe on the upper corner, because sometimes you don't really get enough wood on inside pitches. I thought that may have worked, but also sometimes you just get hit off of it and it goes to the weirdest spots. That actually happened to me in softball, my championship game last year. I was trying to pitch these guys inside and they were making just a bunch of stupid swings and it somehow just went to the right side all the time. And that's exactly what I saw, but it is what I wanted. So I didn't fault him for the fastball. And I know the broadcaster's like, how could you pitch that fastball just right in there? But I was like, I think it still could have worked. It's just, I think it was like Spencer Torkelson. Like he just happened to be there. And I don't think that he would have swung at another slider because it was just happening too consistently way outside. So I didn't fault Matt Brash for pitching that fastball. I didn't fault him for it. It was like, and I didn't even fault him for the location. I think it's just Spencer Torkelson just happened to just get a good swing on it. So I still think it was a good pitch. It's just that Torkelson got the contact. That's all.
Hey, no, I think that's a great call, honestly. Like, and listen, there's no bad team in the playoffs, right? Like, Tigers are good. They can make punish mistakes and give them an extra out, and look what happened. Naylor bobbles that grounder, and then I also thought Polanco maybe had a chance to get him, then he underhanded. I thought that was kind of weird. I thought maybe he had a chance to still get. I think it was Green that hit the double play. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it really wasn't like a bad pitch or anything like that. It wasn't a cement mixer over the middle of the plate. It was just fastball up, and Torkelson went the other way with it. And, it's easy to say now that we won, but that is baseball. I mean, we've seen it happen. And one thing you can't do, you cannot give teams extra outs in the playoffs. Cannot happen. And that was almost 2 extra outs. You never assume a double play, but, it probably would have been very close at minimum. So can't give teams extra outs in these games.
Yeah, before we get into, and we didn't even talk about the fact, how about Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez in the bottom of the 8th? Within like 5 minutes, they just immediately they were clutch. 2 doubles and including an RBI double by Julio. I mean, it doesn't get anything better than that. Now, they should have got more runs. Like, when I was like watching Suarez, I was like, okay, Suarez, you don't have to hit a home run. You can just hit a nice little poker somewhere. And then we saw him hit the ground ball. And initially I was like, man, Julio, what an idiot. Why were you running? And then we were like, oh, wait, but he was trying to break up the double play. So he kind of did it on purpose, because had he just stayed at third, then that's just an easy play to second base, because Polanco doesn't really have much feet, and then a double play. But aside from that, then we go to Munoz. Can't really say too much. It was just absolutely amazing. There was a little bit of a scare, though, because Parker Meadows was just
wouldn't die.
just wouldn't die. And I just happened to remember him too well, because I just happened to watch him rob a home run from Cal Raleigh last year, and his numbers are at least 270 against the Mariners. So I was also like, hey, this could be the dangerous X factor, but it's a nice little grounder to Josh Naylor. And by the way, Josh Naylor, congratulations on having the baby. And you know what? Maybe you could use that paternity leave break so you can get yourself mind focused and then get remotivated once you have your baby. So if you take that leave, the Mariners will just have to find ways to step up. And that's why maybe Ben Williamson maybe gets a start at third base. And maybe you just put Eugenio Suarez at first base, because if he can capably field third base, I mean, I don't see why he can't play first base effectively. So we just want to go over it really quickly, because I know you're limited on time, because I know you guys you got to do your big video. But game 3 is going to be Jack Flaherty and Logan Gilbert. I definitely expect that to be a tough matchup, because, I mean, Jack Flaherty has been doing pretty well in the playoffs, and the Mariners tend to struggle on the road, especially with their pitchers, but their offense might just make up for it. So we'll have to see. But a lot of factors going into the game is going to be, do the Mariners offense finally get off the ground? And does the Mariners pitching also hold up? Because they don't tend to do very well in Detroit. I mean, we saw in 24, I mean, this year, sure, they did fine. But again, they caught Detroit at a really good time. But in years past, we have seen just brutal series in Detroit. So my keys is going to be, just got to score those runs early, and pitchers has just got to find a way to just figure it out and shut down the Detroit Tigers, because it's not going to be an easy 2 games in Detroit, but at least they're guaranteed 2 more games. But those are my points. And then take me to your closing points for the next games, or any key points of today.
Yeah, rematch. Logan and Flaherty faced off that final game in Detroit. Flaherty pitched pretty well, only gave a couple runs. I think Randy and Julio both got him for home runs. Logan was good in that game. I think a couple unearned runs, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I'm with you. Detroit's kind of been a little bit of a house of horrors for the Mariners. I mean, listen, you go in Detroit, you win 1, no matter what, you're coming back to Seattle, probably facing Skubal again. Don't know if we want to try and beat him a 4th time, but it's certainly better than being eliminated, right? So, I mean, it's better than nothing. So you at least go and listen, you get 1 here. I think game 3 is crucial, because game 4 is probably going to be Bryce Miller, and I just don't fully trust that. So I really think you're going to have to find a way to get game 3 here. And then if you can get game 3, you're set up well. And game 4 isn't a whatever game by any means, but if you can win 3, no matter what, or not no matter what, but worst case scenario, you're coming back to Seattle for game 5. So very similar to the Cleveland series 2001, kind of giving me those vibes. I think the games were definitely different. Hopefully not a 17-2 beatdown in game 3, but lose game 1, win game 2, and then go on the road. It's a central team, so just got to find a way here. I'm glad they're off tomorrow. Get the bullpens rested and everything. Get us a little bit rested. Enjoy this W here. And listen, if you're the Tigers, you came in here and you did get home field advantage back. You split. I'm sure their fans are probably a little miffed, because they're like, well, we probably thought we were going to win today's game of all the ones. And
Everyone
I kind of thought so too. Yeah. And of course went reverse. The Mariners never do things normally. And what's going to happen to Detroit? They're going to lose game 3. Then Bryce Miller is going to deal, and they're going to win game 4, because that's just how it goes. But no, feeling good. And there's life. And you said it best. No matter what, there's 2 more games. You're not down 2-0. You're not facing elimination now for needing to win 3 straight. There's a chance you don't have to face Scooble if you can go in Detroit and win a couple. So you're in decent shape. You just don't have the home field advantage necessarily, but you can get that back with one win. And then I'm going to head out, but appreciate you having me on, man. Enjoy the W and good grind today, man, with the Seahawks and the Mayor. Very impressive and not easy games either.
Both were very heart attack games, and that is exactly what I needed. But I am taking off too because I've got Korean food, authentic Korean food waiting for me in the kitchen. And everyone else, thank you for being on the show. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit notifications. See you on Tuesday for the Mariners and the Tigers. Go Mariners.